When you experience a sports injury, muscle, or joint pain, you want treatment right away. Parkview or
6:34. You good, Tommy? I hope so.
Yeah, I sent it, but
When you experience a sports injury, muscle, or joint pain, you want treatment right away. Parkview Ortho Express provides same-day orthopedic and sports injury care without referral or appointment, offering diagnostics, x-rays, the region's only body composition DEXA scan right inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Walk in Monday through Thursday, 7 to 7, Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. For more information, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com/orthoexpress.
It's the kind.
Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
Concussions. They're a concern for parents of athletes in any sport. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine is leading the way with the area's first concussion clinic. Our integrated sports medicine team utilizes an innovative, evidence-based approach to manage athletic-related head injuries in those 14 and older, providing comprehensive care to get the athlete you love safely back in play. To schedule an appointment, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 266-4007. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ants in action. Get mad about blue.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Parkview Sports Medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code SummitCity for 15% off today.
Runners are running, play coming home.
From the crucial plays to the highlight of the game to the victory celebration, we are there. Summit City Sports isn't just a business. It's a group of companies investing in the youth of Fort Wayne athletics. It's because of Parkview Sports Medicine, because of Kelly Automotive Group, Indiana Wesleyan University, University of St. Francis, and Big Eye Fish that we can produce our broadcast viewed by hundreds of thousands in Northeast Indiana. Support Summit City Sports. Become a sponsor. Join our winning team today.
Well, the heat, the stress of 2 days is over, and time now to strap it on and get set for some high school football all across the state of Indiana. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Parson, joined by sidekicks Joe Walburn and Tommy Norris, along with the SummitCitySports.com crew. Greetings from revamped Spooler Stadium. Tonight, it's Northrop hosting Homestead in the opener for both schools. And Joe, after years of hoping that the rain and the ensuing mud would stay away, that is no longer a concern, is it?
Yeah, how nice is it with the turf out here? We have to give a big heads up to the school board for getting the turf out here. And I tell you what, this time of year is so exciting because you can just feel the excitement. And it doesn't matter how old you are or how long you've been around, you always get excited for high school football.
Well, as far as the game matchup is concerned tonight, Bruins fans wondering, hoping really, will this be the night that Northrop finally gets a win against Homestead? They faced the Spartans 14 times, and 14 times the Spartans have come away out on top.
Yeah, Northrop's really struggled with Homestead, but Coach Dorfler feels this year could be a little bit different because this is the year where he feels like he has his best defense. So Northrop brings back 6 starters on defense, Joe, and they're led by defensive end Nigel Robertson, who had 4 sacks last year, and they have a big defensive tackle in Jordan Young, 6'2", 270. So for Northrop tonight, they got to get that pressure on Luke Goody, so they feel like they have a good defensive line. But also key tonight for Northrop is the quarterback position. Dylan Hoop gets his first varsity start.
Well, let's take a closer look at the Spartans. You mentioned they've got a pretty good quarterback. Defensively, though, returning is linebacker Cam Rogers, along with his 99 touchdowns from a season ago. And on offense, as you mentioned, they averaged over 28 points a ball game and led by the 6'6" Luke Goody at the helm. And he completed, Joe, nearly 60% of his passes a year ago. 12 touchdowns and only 4 picks. That's pretty good.
really good, especially when you consider that he was platooning last year. So to throw for 1,200 yards and have a quarterback rating of 147 is so impressive for Goody. And also what helps Homestead is all the weapons that he has. He has a wide receiver in Griffin Little who had 10 touchdown catches last year. You have Braden Hardwick, the running back with the best feet in the area. And then you have so much strength up front. So Homestead really feels good about their offense. They think they can improve on what they did last year, and defensively we know how good they are. I think the area's best linebackers led by Rogers, and the safeties are just phenomenal with Burton. So I think Homestead's loaded on the back end defensively, and I think the matchup tonight is that Homestead defensive line against that Northrop offensive line, Joe.
Bruins Spartans here tonight. It's the debut of a new all-weather playing surface. Will it help the Bruins, or will it be Homestead just feeling like it's another home game? Answers coming up, as is our Meyer pregame show. We'll check in with both head coaches upon our return as well, and it will be Jason Dorfler when we get back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. Well, they always say the Rome was not built in a day. Coach, baby step forward last year with 3 wins. I know you're not happy with just the 3 wins, but you want to move forward with this team. Let's go back to last week, though, in the scrimmage against Huntington North. Kind of give us a little bit of your impressions. What was good? What worked well for your team?
Yeah, we were able to move the ball last week, which we were pleased with. We have a young offensive line, and that was a concern, and they played well. So, we just got to keep getting better and better each and every week. Now, Huntington North, we didn't get much out of the defensive side. They run kind of a foot-to-foot splits, double wing, and with motion and stuff we don't see in the SAC. But it was good to hit somebody else, and we'll be ready to go tonight.
Well, when you do run up against it, you'll be a little bit prepared. You know, I'd be remiss. This is a beautiful field now with the artificial surface, and a lot of your kids went through the tough times, you know, rain, mud, and what's been the reaction about your kids on this new playing surface?
It's outstanding, and we are very blessed to have this and thankful, you know, for Fort Wayne Community Schools and investing in this field, and it's first class. And we got on it on Wednesday for the first time, and it was, you know, the oohs and the ahs, and it's something to take great pride in.
Well, let's talk about the matchup tonight. You got to be wishing, can we open against somebody other than a Homestead, a Snyder, a Dwenger? But it is the Spartans in. You've never beaten them in 14 years. And talk about the challenge, especially. I guess it starts with their quarterback, Luke Goody, at 6'6".
Yeah, I mean, they have talent everywhere, and they're very, very well coached, and they are precise in everything that they do, and it's a great program. I read the other day they haven't had a losing season since 1994. I mean, so they obviously got it going, and you know, we have competed year in and year out with them, and we've had some close calls. We really felt 2 years ago that we should have won that game. We had the lead with 6 minutes to go, and then it got away from us. So, you know, our kids, you know, they respect Homestead, but, you know, we've proven that we can play with them, and we just got to put 4 quarters together and, you know, hopefully get a couple bounces go our way.
We've noted in the years past, no question, Northrop can score points. The question is, can you stop them?
Yep. Well, and we're going to find out right away, because Homestead has a 6'6" quarterback that is a great athlete and can really put it anywhere he wants. And they're big up front. I mean, they're just a very good team, and that's why a lot of people are picking them to win the conference, and rightfully so. And we'll have our hands full, but you know, we're up for the challenge.
Head coach Jason Dorfler in his 6th year. They lost the sectional opener to Homestead a year ago, 24-7. 3 wins. That is the most, though, by the Bruins football program since 2012. Tell you what, we'll take a 2-minute timeout. We will be back with Chad Zoman, his take on opening night, when we return to Spiller Stadium. This is IHSAA football right here on Fox.
Can a power company provide more than energy? Can it inspire young minds, rebuild lives, and ignite the economic growth of a community? Can it honor the past while energizing the future? At Indiana Michigan Power, we're doing more than the expected with energy. We're working together, investing in the lives of the community, all to create a better future. That's not just energy, that's boundless energy. Indiana Michigan Power, boundless energy. See more at indianamichigan.com/boundless.
You might be one of those people who looks forward to cooler weather. And that's all well and good, but Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram knows that summer ain't over till we say it's over. So they're still rolling with the summer clearance event with savings across the board. Get a 2019 Dodge Challenger Hemi for $389 a month with no money down. Or drive off in a 2019 Durango SXT all-wheel drive blacktop edition for $395 a month. Offers valid to qualified lessees. Minimum down payment required for Durango on select models. See dealer for complete terms and details. And don't forget that Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram also has finance approval plans to get you into the vehicle you want. Back to school, football preseason, sure, fine. But it's still summer, brothers and sisters. Celebrate by hitting the summer clearance event happening now at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram under the giant American flag on Coliseum or always online at glenbrookdodge.com.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home. Momper Insulation can keep the cold out by sealing the leakage points and filling empty sidewalls, even through masonry or siding, without unsightly holes or blemishes. They're also experts at insulating crawl spaces, attics, and any place the cold could get in and ruin your winter. Let Momper seal your house, saving you 30 to 50% off your heating bill. Call today for a free energy audit before it's too late.
Well, I got to ask you, after all these years, do you still get excited, a little bit nervous on season openers?
Yes, I do. I mean, my belly's churning. It's, you know, in the fall, I don't know what it would be like without this. You got a little, I don't eat before these games. I can't. So it's, I still get a little excited for it.
Well, you've got to be excited as well. A lot of people are looking with envy at Homestead. You got one of your top running backs back. You've got the top tackler. You've got a 6'6" quarterback. Life is good.
Life is good. Yeah, we have some talent back for sure. And these, and the cool thing about it is that during the off season, their work ethic was tremendous, and that really encourages you as you progress towards this moment that they're going to be ready. And so we'll see.
Last week with the scrimmage, give me a little capsule look at what went well for you and what were things maybe, we got to kind of work on that a little more.
Well, it's good to scrimmage Snyder because they expose you if you're not ready in areas, right? And we had some miscommunication. I mean, it was simple things that we made mistakes on, something that mentally that we can fix. So it wasn't a physical thing; it was mental. But I thought, we had some series where we marched down the field and did some good things, and encouraged a little bit by our defense flying around. And but there's always, like we said, it was more of a mental corrections than anything else, and so that's what we focused on this week.
I know, knowing you for years, you take it a game at a time. You don't look past anybody. And talking about Northrop, you've never lost them 14 straight times. And what have you told your kids about this matchup here tonight?
We told them it'll be the toughest matchup of the year. I mean, you just got to face it that way. They're going to be so juiced up for this field, and they've got new uniforms, I've heard. So we expect a really tough football game, and our kids do too. They're pretty good about staying in the moment and focusing on what's ahead of them, and they've been that way this week. So it's been all Northrop, and not one of them has said anything else, so it's good.
On this field, you got to feel like it's a home game almost.
Oh, this is beautiful. I mean, it's I remember when we first got it, it's so good because you can practice all the time. You can't wear it out, and even in the bad weather, you can get something accomplished, so it makes it really nice. It's
Best
beautiful.
of luck.
Thank you.
Chad Zollman, longtime head coach of the Homestead Spartans in his 16th year, and a year ago they were 7-4 overall and 6-3 the SAC. They lost the sectional shootout against Snyder 49-35. They did win, though, 5 of their last 6 ball games, and they are loaded, folks, again this year. Let's take another timeout. We're getting ready to come back. We'll have Joe Auburn down on the carpet. Yes, you heard right, the carpet here at Spooler Stadium. No more grass, no more mud. And we'll have the reenactment of the coin toss coming up with referee Jerry Parker when we return. This is IHSAA football right here on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. Okay, Chief, let's play it by ear. I'm thinking at least 2 30s, maybe a third. We'll see. I want to get that Meyer in right after the coin toss, before the kickoff, though, too. So. Okay, come back after this spot. .72 degrees here on the north side of Fort Wayne, under partly cloudy skies. East-northeast winds about 6 miles an hour. Beautiful night for high school football, the opener, especially when you think that normally this time of the year we have 85, 87 degrees, heavy humidity. Not bad at all tonight. Now let's get ready to go down, and Joe Auburn with our referee, the introduction.
All right, we're ready to start the 2019 season. Let's start it on a strong note. Play hard, play smart. Northrop, you won the toss. Defer. We'll kick away from the board. Any questions of us? All right, let's have a great.
There you go, Joe. Northrop wins the toss, and they're going to kick. So we'll get a look at that Homestead offense with Luke Goody early on. I tell you what, this turf is just awesome, Joe. It's so soft, and it's so exciting to be out here at Spooler Stadium with the turf. So big night of high school football. These two teams know each other, Joe. They played twice last year, so it's a big matchup for both teams. Expectations, excitement, week 1 of high school football.
Let's get it on. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. Good job, man. Good job. Almost like we know what we're doing. Caleb Frisch is back in kick return along with Jake Archbold. Archbold, of course, a big mainstay to this Homestead attack a year ago. Both sides of the ball, really. Tarek Bajorek will kick it off. He'll tee it up at the 40. It'll be the Bruins kicking away from right to left. Beautiful evening for high school football. Glad you could join us tonight on Fox Sports Radio and SummitCitySports.com. Here comes the kick. Line drive, end over a kick. And it's Archbold's got across the 10, left side 15, 20, 25. Turns the corner, 30, 35. And bumped out of bounds across the way. So a good return by Jake Archbold. And something, Joe Walburn, about getting your hands for the first time in the season when you get that opportunity.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon. You know, last year he alternated with Goody at quarterback, but this year Homestead's going to use him on defense to beef up the defense. But also he's such a weapon on offense, Joe, because he's going to play some slot back and he can move around, and he's returning kicks. So I think it helps Homestead's team to have him.
Jared Kistler comes in wide to the right side. He'll draw coverage from Tanoa Ridley here on the near sideline. Here is a screen, comes right side, and turn upfield across the 35, and cartwheeling up across the 40 to the 41. That's Cam Rogers, who had 3 catches a year ago, 25 carries for 117 yards, and he's a two-way threat.
Yeah, and just an easy pass for Goody to get him going. So Homestead comes out, they're going to play the spread, and they have lots of weapons we talked about in the pregame and a lot of ways to attack you.
5 wide. Well, now they're going to change that a little bit. A one set back. Northrop shows blitz from the left side. Short drop. Goody screen to the left side. Got a bit of a screen and a good run after the catch that time. But that's defended pretty well by the Bruins, as getting some penetration up there, up front. That was Adrian Scott.
Yeah, and Goody tried to go quick to Sam Scavo out there, Joe. But Northrop, you know, defense is all about the ability of effort and intensity, and that time Northrop chases and makes a nice tackle. So already early on, a big third down play.
Third down and about 3. Ball's at the 38-yard line. Goody out of the pistol, looks, option run to the left side, pitches it left side. Here's a turn. He didn't get there for the first down. Game is only to about the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. And that's going to bring her up 4th down and still about a yard.
And that was Jaden Smith out there for Northrop coming up and making that tackle. And how big was that? Goody did a nice job on the option, but the option was to the short side. Northrop scrapes to the football, fills, and makes a big defensive play. So already, Joe, a huge 4th down.
Shotgun formation now. Goody's got slot right with Cam Rogers. Looks. Now he's going to kick the ball away. Nice high ball. And it'll take a bounce inside the Bruin 20-yard line. Everybody backs away, still rolling inside the 15, down to the 10, and down to about the 7-yard line. So Goody will kick that football away. And now Northrop, they'll force a 3 and out by the Spartans, and they'll get their hands on the football first time on offense.
And if I'm Coach Dorfler, I'm extremely happy with that defensive series because of the effort, and they slowed down the Homestead offense. Now the bad news for Northrop is you're pinned all the way back, and you have a brand new quarterback in Dylan Hoot, 5'11", 170. He was the junior varsity quarterback last year. So this is where Dylan Hoot, you just want to protect that football in this situation.
Shotgun formation, actually pistol alignment. Bruins just short and nose of the football, the 8-yard line. Here's a little option pitch, comes late, looking for some running room. They're not going to find it. There's a penalty flag thrown. Pitched the ball to Jeremiah Green, I should say, who rushed for 831 yards a year ago. Let's see if that's a face mask against the Spartans.
Yeah, that was Jeremiah Green. And Green, as you mentioned, Joe, over 800 yards and 13 touchdowns. So he's Northrop's big weapon on offense. And what they want to do is they want to get him on the edge and attack. And on that play, Dylan Hoot has to make that defensive end commit, Joe, on that pitch. But that's going to be holding on the wide receiver at that time for Northrop. And, that's a big penalty. It's going to be half the distance to the goal. But Northrop needs to come up with the play to get this ball out, Joe.
I think are they going to decline the penalty? No, they do move it back to just.
It was a good effort by Jeremiah Green to get some positive yards, but that's a big penalty, and you got to be really careful here if you're Northrop. You don't want to make an early turnover.
Joe, they moved that ball to the 1 yard line. So out of the end zone, that's where Hoot is going to take the snap. He's got a protector offset to his left, drops the throw, throws near side. That's a long ball, and just outreaching the fingertips, trying to put it into the hands of Adrian Sewell. Had 6 catches a year ago, 117 yards, 1 for a touchdown, but that one just a little bit long. But at least you saw the senior, he's got an arm.
Yeah, and I like it because what that's going to do is Homestead's going to have to back those safeties up and honor that, because Northrop is strong at wide receiver, Joe. They've got Quinlan Pettis and Adrian Sewell out there. Sewell caught a touchdown last week in the scrimmage, so those are weapons. So let's see what Northrop dials up here.
3rd down and long, 3rd down and 19 from the 1 yard line. Hood again drops the throw, screens the ball near side, and that one is dropped in and out of the fingertips, trying to get it into Adrian Sewell's hands. But again, there were a lot of gold helmets swarming around, and there was not going to be a lot of running room. So now it'll be the Bruins going out without a first down, and they will have to kick the ball away. Tarek Bajorek will do the punting as well this year.
It was good defense that time out there by Ryan Burton for Homestead to get on that play, and that's a good defensive series, but you can see where the special teams really helped Homestead and the field advantage.
Needs a good snap, low snap, and it's through the end zone. That'll be a safety. Well, that's one of those things on opening night you hope to avoid, but it happens, and it will be a 2-0 Homestead lead here on the safety. And to make matters worse, now the Bruins are going to have to kick the ball away. 2-0 Spartans will take a timeout. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250, The Ticket. Well, there's a score we didn't necessarily count on. So the Spartans get the benefit of that bad snap that just trickled right through the hands, reaching down of it. Bajorek could not get the handle and went through across the end line. Safety is called, 2-0 in favor of Homestead, and now they will receive the kick, and they'll tee it up for Bajorek at his own 20-yard line, kicking right to left.
Shows you how big that penalty play was. It really pushed Northrop back. So now let's see if Northrop can handle the adversity and overcome that play.
Archbold back deep once again, waits inside his 30-yard line. Here comes the kick. Angling far side, it's fielded at the 25. Run across the 30s, and Archbold steps out of one tackle, the 35, got it up to about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. So Spartans with decent field position once again on top in the early going over Northrop at 2-0.
And that's tremendous hustle by Braden Murdoch for Northrop to run down and make that tackle, Joe. He's a linebacker, and that's a heck of a special teams play, because I thought Homestead was going to get better field position, but you got to love the hustle that time by Northrop.
Spartans offensive line averaging 243 a man, tackle to tackle. Robert McCrory at center. Braden Parker and Brant Meyer are the guards. Grant Parker and Owen Heyer are the tackles. Too wide to the right side. Goody, play action fake, wants to throw, task to time, throws over the middle, looking at a ball, drops short, intended that the receiver downfield. Incomplete pass, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10, but again, Goody had time.
Yeah, he had time, and he was looking for Cam Rogers on the seam, but you can't throw that pass late. And Goody had some pressure in his face. You know, in the pregame, we talked about Jordan Young. So Northrop got some pressure, and Goody was late with the football. So good defense with Northrop, and I think so far, Joe, this Northrop defense is holding up pretty well.
3 wide this time. At tight end is Griffin Little to the right side. He had 53 catches a year ago for the Spartans. Deep handoff, off tackle run to the right side. Tough run by Braden Hardwick. Spins across the 45. He's up to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, he's a tough back. I think he's really underrated, Joe. He ran last year for over 800 yards and 8 touchdowns, and he's a little bit smaller, but he's shifty and his legs are strong, and he seems to get those extra yards. So that's a big run that pushes him out to a first down.
Got a good spot of that ball to around the 49. So 1st and 10, Homestead now approaching midfield. They do not huddle up. They just kind of stand around. Now Griffin Little again, tight to the right side. And here is Goody out of the pistol. Looks to hand it off. Hardwick runs off tackle. Thought he saw a hole. Gets it across midfield and rolls down inside, well, to about the 47 of the Bruins. He'll pick up about 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was a nice close down that time for Northrop by Jordan Young, number 77, the defensive tackle. 6'2", 270. An interesting prospect, Joe, because he's a big guy, but he has good feet. I thought Hardwick was going to get a bigger run that time, but Young closes him down.
Hardwick got that gift of great acceleration once they hand him the football. Now they're going to flip-flop Hardwick to the right side. Protector, now they're going to flip-flop him back to the left of Goody. Now Rogers comes off the wing to the left side as well. Now they've got their team set. Here's a quick out pass to the right side and right through the outstretched hands of Jared Kistler. That would have been good for a first down, but incomplete.
Yeah, and Kistler's got to make that catch. You know, Kistler's 6'3", 200 pounds, a good prospect, and he has to understand that with this offense, that ball's coming out quick, and Goody wants to get rid of it because, you know, Homestead's a little bit inexperienced up front. So from the quarterback position, when I'm throwing that hook, Joe, that ball's coming out quick. I need that wide receiver to have his head back around, those hands up.
A year ago, the Spartans were 43% on 3rd down conversion opportunities. They need 5 on this snap. In the pocket, here's Goody, steps up, pumps, pulls it down, wants to throw on the run. That one is caught and then dropped. Spinning around, Archbold had it, but then trying to spin down for the ball, he lost control to bring up 4th down.
And it was tremendous effort out there by Antoine Scott to try to get to Goody. And how about Goody with the poise, stepping up in the pocket? But Northrop does a good job getting the pressure on Goody, and that rushes him and he can't complete it. So another big 4th down, a big decision for Homestead. Last time you punted and you pinned Northrop back. I think this time maybe I gamble a little bit because I'm on Northrop's side of the 50.
Spotted at the 46 of the Bruins. Goody again. He's got a running back offset behind him. Ready to take the snap and does look, throws the ball on. He's got a catch. There's Griffin Little inside the 35, fighting for extra yardage down close to the 31-yard line.
And that's his security blanket. That's what Griffin Little does best. Griffin Little, 6'3", 230. I project him to be a Division I tight end on the next level, Joe. And that time, Little just runs down, finds the zone, makes himself available, and that's just pitch and catch for Goody and Little, and a big conversion for Homestead.
Spartans had 14 touchdown catches a year ago, and Griffin Little had 10 of them. Now they've got him tight to the right side once again. 2 wide to the left. That's the wide side of the field. Goody out of the pistol. Now they back away. Play clock still shows 7. Got to hurry now. Hardwick lined up. Goody changes the play call at the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. 2 safeties back for the Bruins. Here's a hand. No, it is a run by Hardwick, and he's going nowhere. Well defended that time by the Bruins. Right side coming up from his safety spot was Vaughn Cruz.
Yeah, that was a big, and Nigel Robertson helped out the defensive end, Joe, and Northrop was confused. That was a bust for the defense, but luckily they had a couple guys come up and make that tackle. I thought that was going to be a big play that time for Hardwick.
Maybe a half a yard. Let's call it still 2nd down and 10. We saw 7:35 remaining in this opening quarter. 2-0 Homestead on a safety. This time they flip-flop Griffin Little tight to the left side. Shotgun formation. Here's a sweep coming up. Cam Rogers trying to turn the corner and does. Fights his way to the 25. He's got the first down and much more. He's brought down from behind, but not till he reaches the Bruin 15-yard line or very close to it.
That was a great block out there for Homestead by the left tackle, Owen Heyer. Owen Heyer turned the defensive end in, and Rogers was able to get upfield. And what I like about that run, Joe, was he planted his outside leg and got upfield. But a great block by Owen Heyer for Homestead.
Joe, we talked about the Spartan offense averaging $243 a man, but they can bring in Sean Rice at $295, Gabe Waltman at $275, and go even bigger. Here is a straight ahead carry, and that's Hardwick spinning off a tackle. He's inside the 10 to the 5, but tripped up. He might have had a chance to score. Other than that touchdown, saving tackle by Vaughn Cruz again.
That's a great run by Hardwick. The mark of a good back is how many yards they get after the initial hit. And we come in tonight, we hear so much about Goody's passing, and we see what Little can do and all the weapons. But how about Hardwick? You got to have a back that can run between the tackles, and that's a phenomenal play to see the balance and the ability to get positive yards. And that's tough for Northrop because you're playing man-to-man on the outside, and those backers have so much responsibilities with the slot, and it makes it tough when you have a back like that in the backfield. And I think it helps him, Joe, to only be 5'9", because at times it's hard to find him.
Gain of 8, second down and short. They'll spot it at the Bruin 9-yard line. They'll work from the right side hash mark or thereabouts. Motion back. Archibald, here's a counter run by Hardwick, trying to get to the outside. Steps out of 2 tackles, and he's inside the 5, down close to the 4.
Yeah, another good run, another good bounce to make that play. And if it wasn't for Devon Goodsey for Northrop to bring him down, Goodsey goes 6 feet, 220. Good feet, good recognition by Goodsey to make that tackle. But right now you're seeing Hardwick with the ability to make guys miss, and big run after big run.
Thought Jordan Young might have had a chance to bring him down for no gain, but now it's first down and goal with the ball at the 5. 2-0. They come up and press coverage defensively on the outside on Little. Now they back away a little bit. Looked like there might have been a little motion. Cam Rogers, though, turning the corner, looking for the goal line. No indication yet. And it looks like he is short.
It's going to be short. I thought he was going to make it. Again, the left tackle, Owen Heyer, turned the defensive end in. Right now, Northrop's first adjustment on defense is they have got to get contained on that defensive end. But I thought Rogers was going to get it, but the pursuit for Northrop, give him credit, Joe. The dogs are chasing on the backside for Northrop to get him out of bounds. So now it's second and short. And if I'm Homestead, I give the ball to Hardwick here. I reward him on this drive for all the big runs.
Just shy of the goal line is where they put it. Goody out of the pistol. Hardwick lines up. They'll hand the ball to him, and he dives, goes down, and scores. Touchdown. 1 yard on the touchdown run by Braden Hardwick, who had 8 touchdowns a year ago. He's got his first of this season here at the 5:06 mark.
And that was an awesome drive by Hardwick. On display was feet, balance, and power. That was a great drive for a high school running back, but also a good sign for Coach Zolman, Joe. That offensive line looked pretty good on that series.
So it's set up by the 4th down conversion pass, leading to the 1 yard touchdown run by Braden Hardwick. So that makes it 8-0. Should be Gunnar Fry on there to attempt the extra point. Had 5 conversions last year. Low snap, got it up, long end over end on the way, and good. Make it 9-zip. Sparty on top here at Spuller Stadium. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl.
Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
At Northside tonight, Snyder 9-3 a year ago. And it is Wayne hosting Bishop Dwenger. Of course, the Saints a state champion a year ago, 14-1. Wayne was 3-0. It's Heritage, their home to Eastside.
Yeah, good matchups. I think that Lewis-Carroll is an interesting matchup. Somebody's going to get a big win tonight in that game, Joe, and get some momentum. Wayne was 9-3 last year, and how about Wayne and Dwenger? You know, Dwenger beat Wayne twice and barely beat Wayne in the playoffs. A really tough game. So Wayne and Dwenger have really developed a rivalry. So that's a big game. Northside's supposed to be better this year, so we'll see if they can hang around with Snyder. And boy, I hope my Archers can give Concordia a little bit of test. But great matchups in the area and a lot of questions about the high school football season, and it's going to be exciting. And as far as this game, a big question for Northrop now. Northrop needs to respond. Northrop needs to put a drive together, let their defense rest, but they got to get on the board.
Here comes the kick, high, end over end, not all that deep. It'll be fielded at the 10, run up the middle, trying to get to the outside. And here is a stop-and-go move to the 20-yard line. And that is a curry by Darius Sanders. So Sanders trying to use a little shake-and-bake move.
Sanders is awesome, 5'9", 150. You can see the speed, but how about the discipline for Homestead? Homestead's extremely well coached on special teams.
Well, the world is waiting for you to make a difference in a way that only you can. Discover your strengths at Indiana Wesleyan University's residential campus in Marion, Indiana. Visit indwes.edu for more information.
Big series for the Bruins here, Joe. And if you're Dylan Hoot, you just got to take a deep breath. You're okay. It's 9-0. You got to put some plays together. Now, Northrop strong. We talked about Jeremiah Green, over 800 yards last year, 13 touchdowns. They've got Adrian Sewell and Quinlan Pettis. Pettis last year had 7 touchdowns, so Northrop needs to put a drive together. And I'll tell you what, Joe, another penalty on that, so that's going to hurt them again. And when you have a young quarterback in his first varsity start, the last thing you want to do is continually back him up in this position. So, again, it's put more pressure on that offense to start this deep.
So instead of starting at around the 15, they'll start at just inside the 10. And Hunt looking at a blitz being shown up the middle. Looks to hand it off, trying to slide to the right side. Good pursuit that time, but still a good drive across the 10 up to about the 13-yard line. The Bruins keeping it on the ground on their first snap.
Yeah, that's Jeremiah Green getting the carry there, and that's what Northrop wants to do. Northrop wants to run the ball on first down and get Green in space with the idea that will open things up for their wide receivers.
Well, a year ago, we're talking about Green. He did average, Joe, over 4.5 yards a carry, so they're expecting big things out of him. Here's Hunt checking that defense, checks his wristband as well. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Clock now shows just over 4 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. 9-0 Homestead. Play action. Here's the read option, and here's a big hole for Hunt as he rolls across the 20 up to the 25-yard line.
Excellent recognition by Hoot that time. They run the option. He puts the ball in Green's belly and makes the right read. Now, Homestead's playing a 3-3-5, Joe, so that option game should be there. Now, if I'm Homestead, as good as I am with the backers, with Rogers and Martin, I roll some guys to the line of scrimmage, but that's an excellent play for Northrop, and that's Bruin football.
Waylon Pettis splits wide to the right side now in 1st and 10. Here's who wants to throw. High catch made that time near side. And let's see, they're going to catch was made, but Adrian Sewell, let's see, the whistles may have blown.
I think we're going to have maybe false start on the Bruins.
Jerry Parker, our referee, and it is a penalty against Northrop. And again, they're making a little mistakes that really, well, if nothing else, they're going to take away a lot of momentum.
And as an old quarterback, I hate that because timing. Once we get a big play, I want to get to the line of scrimmage and go. They had Pettis that time out there on the quick pass. I like that play call, Joe, but Northrop needs to cut these penalties out.
Menson in the slot to the right side. Pettis is wide of him. That's the wide side of the field. Here's Hoot. Look, turns up middle, cuts back to his right, brings it across the 25 to the 26. And, you know, he's not all that big, Joe. He's 5. They list him 5'11", 170. Does not really look that big, but he's got some quicks and some elusive moves.
He does, and that time Nick Martin for Homestead wrapped him up. but Hoot got some extra yards, so he looks good with the option game. He's dialed in there. Now let's see, off that option game, they come out with 4 receivers here. Let's see if Northrop can throw a little bit now.
Fincher, Eli Fincher in part of a trips package wide to the right. Homestead shows blitz to their left, throw near side. That's good defense, knocked away that time from Adrian Sewell by the Homestead defender.
Yeah, that was good defense that time, and I'll tell you, Homestead's got so much talent on that defense, and, you got to be quicker with that. And as far as Hoot, when you look backside and you have that slant, if it's covered, you got to come back and find your second receiver. So here we go again, another big third down for Northrop.
Year ago, the Bruins were 39% on third down situations. They face 3rd and 9 here. Again, Homestead showing blitz. Here's the draw coming up. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, fooled nobody, and that was good push that time for Homestead to fill those gaps. I tell you, Homestead looked strong up front, Joe. That was Bryce Raber that time that blew that play up, and the play before, the good defensive back play, that was Morgan Lehman. So couple of good defensive plays for Homestead, and they feel better about their defensive line this year.
Jake Archbold drops back in punt return inside his own 45-yard line by Jorick. Waits at the 11 of the Bruins to kick it away. Needs a good snap, and this one floats back to him. Kick is away, got it high, short. Archbold coming near side. It'll hit at the 45, and it will bounce out of bounds around the 36 of Homestead. So again, the Spartans will have possession with 2:16 remaining in this opening quarter. They're on top here on the road to Spiller Stadium at 9-0.
And we're going to see what this flag is. And if you're the Bruins, you hope it's not on you because they got to break that time with the roll. Now, Archibald is fantastic, but Archibald has to come up and catch that punt, Joe, because if he catches that punt, that's going to save Homestead some field position. So I tell you what, though, as far as the Northrop defense, they have played an awful lot of plays in this first quarter, Joe, and you got to watch out because you don't want to wear your defense out in the first quarter because all of a sudden it could become woodshed time. So this is a big series for Northrop to get a stop.
Jerry Parker, our referee, is going to huddle with a couple of his fellow officials down around the 35-yard line of Homestead. The flag was dropped around the 39-yard line of Northrop. Now they're going to come over and talk to Coach Dorfler. Is it offsetting?
Yeah, it's going to be holding on Northrop on the gunner out there, and it's going to be a personal foul on Homestead. So we'll see. They're going to sort this all out. Might be kicking this ball again, but if you're Northrop, you have got to cut the penalties out. The big thing for Northrop in the pregame we talked about is for Northrop to play with Homestead, Joe, no turnovers. You got to tackle well. I think the tackling's been crisp so far, and you got to cut these penalties out.
Seems so easy when you explain it that way.
I know it sounds easy, and that's why I was, keep in mind, I had my first coaching season last year, flag football for the kindergartners, and I went 2-7. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's the extent of my coaching.
Bajorek again back at the 11. He'll do it again, punting it away. Archbold waits again, stepping up over the 40-yard line. The kick is short and off the side of the foot near side. That one's going to go out of bounds. It's a high bounce around the 38.
Big penalty. Northrop's going to get a break. You're going to get running into the kicker on Homestead. So now Homestead makes the mistake. So
now it was 4th and 10. That's just a 5-yard penalty, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and 5 now. So,
but he will have a chance to kick it again.
Boy, it's tempting. It's tempting if you had a nasty fake, but you're so deep in your territory. I don't think you can gamble it now because you don't want to go down 16-0. But it's a break for Northrop, though. A little more room, and as bad as that punt was, Joe, that was going to be Homestead's ball in the 38. So now you get a chance maybe to punt it one more time. And how about the punter? He's getting a workout, Joe. It's going to be 3 punts in a row for Northrop, but that's a break. So now maybe you can get a little bit better field position. And if I'm Archibald, I'm hungry out there right now to catch this punt. I think if Archibald can catch this ball clean, he can maybe make a big play, Joe.
Penalty will take the ball up to the Bruin 30. So that means that Bajorek will get ready to receive it around his own 15, 16-yard line. Play clock still shows 12, but there's officials calling timeout.
Coach Dorfler called timeout, and I think maybe Northrop had something on, Joe.
So we have a timeout down below. We have a score of 9-0 Spartans. Here at the 2:08 mark, we'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Both runners are running, play coming home.
From the crucial plays to the highlight of the game to the victory celebration, we are there. Summit City Sports isn't just a business, it's a group of companies investing in the youth of Fort Wayne athletics.
It's because of Parkview Sports Medicine, because of Kelly Automotive Group, Indiana Wesleyan University, University of St. Francis, and Big Eye Fish, that we can produce our broadcast viewed by hundreds of thousands in Northeast Indiana.
Support Summit City Sports. Become a sponsor. Join our winning team today.
Engine diagnostics and more. Just visit TomSteelTire.com. By Jorick on 4th down to punt, 4th and 5.
I think Northrop had something on last time, Joe, and there was some confusion.
And here running to his right by Jorick's got it. No rush. Got all of this one, though. Here's Archbold. Looks, gets away to the right side. Crosses the 40, 42, and muscles his way up to about the 45-yard line. And that's a little, boy, I tell you what, strength on strength with Jake Archbold.
Yeah, that's strength, and that's guts to sit back there and catch that punt. I'm telling you, of all the plays in football, you hear those footsteps, and with the brand new turf, Archibald heard those footsteps, but nerves of steel to catch that punt and to make a positive play, and that's why I love Archibald. You know, Archibald's been such a team player, Joe, taking the role of safety and slot back. He's a D1 type kid, and anybody who had a father who could play basketball like that. I remember going to the Coliseum watching his dad and Sean Kemp play basketball, so a great family and a great kid.
Goody out of the pistol again. Looks to Braden Hardwick trying to sweep to his left side and tripped up and dropped that time. And coming up, Antoine Scott sniffed it out.
Yeah,
that'll be a loss of a couple.
Yeah, we talked about Antoine Scott a little bit in the pregame, too. He had 45 tackles last year, 5'11", 205. And really, Northrop's doing a pretty good job with this defense, Joe, because they've been out there a lot of plays.
10 tackles for loss as well, and they got another one right there. Loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. Little sets up tight to the left side. Cam Rogers in the slot to the right. On 2nd down and 12, Goody waits for the snap. Looks, play action fake, wants to throw over the middle. Looking downfield, and that one in and out of the hands, nearly intercepted by Vaughn Cruz.
Yeah, and we teased Vaughn Cruz that time. That's why you're playing defense, Vaughn. You got to catch that ball. But there was some mustard on that ball, and that ball was, you saw the arm strength of Goody to really zip that ball, and Griffin Little just never really got around. Now you see Goody kind of opening up his shoulders and his arms, trying to maybe get a little bit more dialed in. But that was a frozen rope, and I don't think Griffin Little had a chance for that. But those are the plays that Northrop, Joe, they have to make those plays to get going.
Spartans trying to reach the 44 of Northrop on this snap. Again, the Bruins coming with the blitz. And here's the screen, but it's dropped over the middle, in and out of the hands of Griffin Little. And now Homestead will be forced to punt it away.
Good stop by Northrop. That time Northrop gambles and dials the blitz up, and that's scary because Homestead has so much talent out there, Joe. Everything was man-to-man, but how about that stop? Little couldn't catch that ball because there was so much traffic in there, but that's a big stop for the Northrop defense, and their offense now has to help them out.
Goody stays in shotgun formation, and he will punt the ball away. Takes a look, high floating kick. That one will take a high bounce inside the 25 and down to about the 20-yard line is where it comes to a stop. So the Bruins will have still 55 seconds remaining in this opening quarter to work with. They are on the short end of a 9-0 score.
And it's time for Northrop to get going. 9-0. Your defense gets a big stop. You got a little bit of momentum now. If Northrop's going to respond in this game, they need to respond in this drive, Joe. And they need to take some time off the clock, give their defense a blow, and move these chains.
6'3" senior Taquay White checks into the lineup now for the Bruins on offense. They'll spot it at the 21. Bruins still working right to left. Little motion by White from left to right. Here's a counter run. Boy, Homestead waiting at the pass. Nowhere to run with that one. And a loss back around the 20-yard line for the Bruins.
And we talk so much about Homestead with the linebackers. I mean, I just absolutely love what they have up front with their defense, Joe. They play a 3-3-5, but those linebackers, Cam Rogers, you mentioned it, 99 tackles, 14 tackles for a loss and 7 sacks last year. Then you got Nick Martin, 6'1", 185. He plays much bigger, 59 tackles last year. So Homestead is extremely strong at the linebacker position.
Fincher in there at the running back spot right now. Hunt's got motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage. Hunt wants to throw, loads up, throws right side, trying to spot his receiver on the fly pattern. That is incomplete that time. Led the intended receiver down there on the right side, just a little bit too far for Menson.
Yeah, and I think Hoot made the right call that time, Joe, but he's just got to be a little sharper with that fade. And it's tough because Homestead's really strong on the back end, but if I'm Northrop, what I come back here is I come back with my 2 inside slots, and I try to work the middle of the field where it's soft. I think Homestead's going to be strong and drop in the back end. Try to work the middle of the field behind the linebackers.
Just 9 seconds remains in the quarter. It's 3rd down. And here's Hoot. Now backs away, checks the sidelines. Play clock at 3. He's got to hurry. And gets the snap, the play off, and hands the ball. No, he wants to run himself. And again, that's not going to go anywhere, but that is going to take us down to 000, and that will be the end of the first quarter. So Homestead getting the safety and then the 1-yard touchdown run by Braden Hardwick, and they're on top here after 1 at Spooler Stadium, 9-0, and we'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Transparent, reliable, simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Both runners are running. Play coming home.
From the crucial plays to the highlight of the game to the victory celebration, we are there. Summit City Sports isn't just a business. It's a group of companies investing in the youth of Fort Wayne athletics.
It's because of Parkview Sports Medicine, because of Kelly Automotive Group, Indiana Wesleyan University, University of St. Francis, and Big Eye Fish, that we can produce our broadcast viewed by hundreds of thousands in Northeast Indiana.
Support Summit City Sports. Become a sponsor. Join our winning team today.
Yeah, not a problem. We'll catch you up. Bruins kicking that ball away, high short kick, and Nick Martin in punt return does catch it, dives down to about the 46-yard line of Northrop. So very good field position now for the Homestead Spartans, up 9-0, getting ready. First snap to begin this second quarter. Joe?
This is a chance for Homestead here with Goody to maybe attack downfield, Joe. Maybe throw a deep pass.
Goody waiting for that snap and looks to hand it off. And here's Braden Hardwick, and he was stood up a little bit in the backfield and then nowhere to go. That was Devon Godsey that came through and finished him off, but he had nothing up the middle, Joe.
Absolutely nothing. And again, Godsey, 6 feet 220, finishes that play. So pretty good effort out there by Bruins, and they've done pretty well slowing down this Homestead offense.
Loss of a couple brings the ball back around the 48-yard line, 2nd down and 12. Little this time, there's a split him out wide to the near side. As Goody, short drop, looks, screens the ball right side. They've got a catch at the 45, run up to the middle. Good open field tackle, and I believe that is Little. No, that's Jared Kistler. Jared Kistler will spin his way down short of the first down, brought down right at the Bruin 40-yard line.
6'3", 200. He should have a big season, Joe. And with the way Homestead's been running it, when they can run that wide receiver screen back across the field, that's really impressive for Homestead.
And just as Goody is a junior, so is Jared Kistler, and he's 6'3". But it's third down, and let's call it a long 4 now. Kistler this time from the right side, checks the sidelines. And here's Goody with the snap. He drops to throw. Looks, rush is coming. Flush to his left, loads up, throws near side's got a catch at the 30 and down to the 25-yard line. And that's Cam Rogers. And he'll have a 1st and 10 for Homestead on the move once again.
How about Rogers on the route running? The big linebacker makes himself available, but that's why Goody has so much potential. Northrop had the right call on. Northrop had the blitz, and Goody didn't panic. All he did, Joe, was slide step and deliver that football. That's why I am so big on Luke Goody. 6'6", 180. That's textbook quarterback play.
He'll play at the next level, won't he?
Whatever sport he wants to play.
Yeah, good point. Goody again, looks to throw, looks near side, pump fake, now throws, and look, and that one right through the outstretched hands, right down the middle, but could not find Jake Archbold.
And Archibald's going to come back to the huddle, and Goody's going to wink at him because Goody gave him the fake, and Archibald was open on the split post, and I thought he was going to pull it down because Archibald's such a great receiver, so almost the big play for Homestead, but you can see Homestead starting to really loosen Northrop up, and now Goody's getting protection to take his shots down the field.
You know, Archibald checked off to the field and now comes right back in. Part of a trips package wide right. They'll screen the ball to him, but he is chipped, and that is well defended. Antoine Scott, like he knew what the play call was all along.
Yeah, and we knew Homestead had some great linebackers, but how about Scott and Goodsey tonight for Northrop, you know? I agree with Coach Dorfler, Joe. This is the best Northrop defense we've seen the last 5 or 6 years.
Third down and long now. Goody looks now, checks off. Play clock at 20. He's got plenty of time. We have 9:46 remaining in this first half. Neither team has scored so far in this second quarter. And Goody changing the play call at the line of scrimmage with 9 remaining on the play clock. Wants to throw. Looks, pump fake again. Throws the fade down the right side's got a man. The ball is caught. Touchdown, Cam Rogers. Good for 29 yards and a touchdown at the 9:30 mark.
And Northrop had him covered initially. I thought Goody wasn't going to throw that ball, as I thought Rogers was covered, but he threw it to the outside shoulder. Again, another excellent piece of quarterback play. That was the only place Rogers could catch that football, and that's a brilliant pass by Goody and a huge play for Homestead, and that could be a backbreaker early on for Northrop.
Have an early candidate for our Parkview play of the game. Now Gunnar Fry comes on to try to make it a 16-0 lead. Waiting for the snap. The hold looks good. End over end kick is on the way, and that is good. So 16 unanswered points by the Spartans on the road here. They're on top of Northrop. And will the Bruins find an answer? We'll find out. We'll be back in. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Both runners are running.
Neighborhood, and it's good to see a lot of the local capital investing down there. So, you know, we have a great community, a great city, and it's exciting to be a part of it. And again, I got to send shouts out to the school board for making this turf field happen. It's huge for those kids, and it means so much, Joe.
Fry will kick it away from right to left as we look at it from the near hash mark at the 40. Here's the kick coming right down the middle, and they fight for it. Bruins have got it across the 10. There's a blast play up the middle, 25-30, and a return just short of the 35-yard line.
And that's important because that's going to be Northrop's best field position of the night. And to finish up on Goody, though, Joe, I can't tell you enough how exciting I am to see Goody this year play the whole game. I mean, I cannot stress enough how difficult it had to be to play in that platoon situation. I couldn't have done it, and to have those numbers last year. So tonight, you're beginning to see him open up and throw that deep ball.
Who had 225 yards on the ground, and Joe, he averaged over 4.5 yards a carry, but this time did not find much there, maybe about a yard. And in fact, they're going to move the ball right back to the 35, no gain.
Yeah, another good back, though, for Northrop. And Northrop traditionally has pretty good backs, but right now, Homestead has decided to take away their run game, so Hoot's going to have to begin to complete some passes here.
3 wide again to the right, Sewell to the outside. In the middle is Eli Fincher. Here's Hoot, throws near side. That's a ball. Quaylon Pettis has got it. Spins across the 40, got another yard to the 41.
Yeah, Pettis is a ball player, 6'4", 175, a great basketball player. How about the speed of Nick Martin on defense coming down, making that tackle? But Pettis had 7 touchdowns last year. If you remember, we had the Wayne Northrop game, and he had a big game in that one, Joe.
3rd down, though, and a long 4 for the Bruins. They need to reach their own 45 on this snap. Hunt again looks, play action, gives it off, and got to the 41. Demarius Cowan talking about, but no more.
That was Rogers coming up and absolutely hammering Cohen on that play, and that's a big stop. And now, do you dare gamble here if you're Northrop? You're down 16-0. You know, do you roll the dice here? I think you probably will. He needs to get some momentum going. But that's the way you plug a hole at linebacker for Rogers.
They'll stay with that trips package. Wide to the left includes Menson out there. Hoot has got the snap. Short drop. Looks near side. Here's a catch made. Pettis gets behind the defense. Cuts to the middle of the field. 35-30. Spuns around and is all the way down to the 25-yard line.
That's a great route by Pettis. And that's what Northrop does best, Joe. Just the quick passes. Pettis makes himself available. And how about Coach Dorfler believing in his kids to roll the dice on 4th down? So that's a huge play for Northrop to get that play. But how about Donovan Leonard, though, for Homestead, making the touchdown-saving tackle? So that was a big tackle by Leonard. Now let's see if Northrop can punch it in, Joe.
From the 24, the Bruins have got it at the Spartans' 24. Here's Cowan. No, it's Hunt. Kept it himself. Faked the handoff. Fights for a couple of yards down inside the 23. Maybe got to the 22.
Yeah, Hoop did good recognition that time, Joe. He could have gave the ball to Cowan, but he thought he could get upfield and get some positive yards. So they continue to hang with this option to push the ball. But I tell you, after that last play, Joe, Northrop may have an advantage on the outside with their wide receivers. And maybe you'll come back and attack with the quick passes because you've got man-to-man on these wide receivers.
Pettis again wide to the short side. He's got Donovan Leonard covering. Here's the option run. A pitch comes. And Donovan Cowan into the second level. Inside the 15. He's down to the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 Bruins.
And that's a great run because Cowan planted his outside leg. And I love it when a back gets outside and plants his outside leg and runs downhill for a big run. So let's see what the flag is. I know the corner was coming up for Homestead. They may get Northrop for holding here, Joe.
I said Donovan Cowan. It's Demarius Cowan.
Actually, it's going to be a holding on Homestead. Don't see that very often on the defense, do you, Joe? And I tell you, Northrop's got a good change of pace with the backs. You know, we talk so much about Jeremiah Green, but the junior, Demarius Cohen's running hard on this drive. And how key would it be for Northrop if they could punch the ball in and get a touchdown, Joe?
We still show 6:46 remaining in this first half.
That quick passing game is so important, and the timing of that is important for Northrop, because what that does is it makes those linebackers, you know, be a little bit more honest and have to chase to the outside and help. And Northrop is loaded with their wide receivers.
Looks like the Bruins are going to take the penalty rather than the play.
Yeah, it was
That'll move the ball down close to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line.
Got to get the ball in the end zone now if you're Northrop.
So it'll be 1st and 10. And let's call it the 12 till we get confirmation on it. Hunt out of the pistol again. Got the snap, looks to Cowan. Cowan curls up the middle, gets to the 10. Big pile up.
Yeah, good push up front that time with Homestead. You know, Rogers was in on that, and Homestead did a nice job of closing down that hole, Joe. It's now a big 2nd down here, and I tell you, I come down to the field here, Joe, and I work the outside with Pettis and see if I could maybe get some one-on-one coverage and attack that.
Sewell splits wide to the short side to the left. It was a gain of 2. And here is Hoot. Looks to the right, throws the fade. He's got Pettis up there. And was there contact? There is a penalty flag thrown.
Yeah,
Pettis. The ball was a little bit underthrown, Joe, but let's see if it goes against the Spartans.
And that's what's so difficult for the defense, because that time it looked like it was Donovan Leonard out there, but he has to turn around. It's so hard as a defensive back. It's going to be pass interference on Homestead, a 1st down for Northrop. But Leonard on the defensive back, you got to turn around and find the ball. But Pettis is 6'4", Joe. That's a great play call, because Pettis is a phenomenal basketball player, and I love it because he has the ability to go up and get that football.
A year ago, the Spartans averaged about 68 yards a game in penalties. That one hurts there. It'll move the ball now. They're going to walk it down to just inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. No, check it. It'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd down snap coming up. A little motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage for the Bruins. Here's Collins. Blast play. 2nd effort. Reaches for the goal line. Touchdown. Demarius Cowan would not be denied. Touchdown run of 5 yards for the Bruins. Their 1st score of the year on the board at the 5:44 mark.
And the 1st score on this turf for the Bruins. So how about Cowan on that drive? Running with the purpose. Rogers and Martin hit him at the point of attack, Joe, but Cowan just drags tacklers into the end zone. And what a run. 5'8", 175. Phenomenal run by Northrop. And what an answer. And I imagine they'll probably go for 2 here, Joe. See if they can make it a 1-score game. But how about that for a drive, and how bad did Northrop need that?
Bruins will try to, for the 2-point conversion, cut the lead in half. Right now it's 16-6. Play action fake. Hoot rolls right, now throws backside of the end zone, but nobody home. No chance on that. Looking kind of for Pettis, but they try for 2 fails, but the Bruins get a score, a touchdown, their 1st of the year at the 5:44 mark. 16-6, still Sparty by 10. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250, The Ticket. Well, if you're looking for something to do after the game, you're hungry, Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for update promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eye Fish.
Couple scores to pass along. Dwenger 14, Wayne 6 in the 2nd quarter. Now how about this score? Carroll 14, Bishop Lures nothing.
Here comes the Bruin kick from left to right from the 40. Line drive kick will be fielded inside the 10. And here's a run to the near side and across the 20 to the 25. That's the kick return that time by Nate Anderson. So It'll be Homestead back on offense, and they've still got 5:38 to work with here late in this second quarter.
And I have a big update for you. Southside 14, Concordia 7. You hear that, Tommy? That's our first lead in about 3 years. Southside 14, Concordia 7. So it's good news for all the Archer fans out there.
And by the way, for the fans, Joe, looking ahead, we know we will carry on October the 4th the battle for the totem pole. That's Northside at.
Because Goody's starting to get the momentum. He seems to really get dialed in now, Joe, and he's feeling it throwing the football.
Too wide either side of the field. Archbold comes back in motion, takes the handoff, looks, sweeps to the right, tripped up at the 40. Falls maybe down up to about the 41. Are they going to say the knee hit back at the 40? It'll pick up a couple yards.
And Homestead seems to really have the timing and the momentum right now on offense, Joe. And you love it the way they break that huddle and get to the line of scrimmage, call the play, run a little bit of no huddle too. But just tempo, and they can attack you with so many weapons.
Joe, he threw a year ago, Archbold, for 954 yards, 5 touchdowns, ran for 678, and also ran for 7 touchdowns. Second down and 8. Here's Goody, time in the pocket, throws, crossing pattern, stepping out of the pocket. Here's a run after the catch of midfield, 45, 40, 35.
Rogers again, Joe, and I tell you, Rogers is killing Northrop, coming right across the middle. He's on the wide side at the slot, and they're just dragging him across the middle. And Goody, again, does a nice job with his feet, stepping up in the pocket to deliver that football. So we talk so much about Rogers. He's a D1 kid at linebacker, but he's caught about 5 passes so far tonight.
That offensive line for Spartans have adjusted, and they're giving Goody a lot more time than we saw in the first quarter.
Yeah, they have, and I thought that was really an interesting matchup because it's an experienced offensive line for Homestead, and the strength of the Northrop defense is up front, but so far the Homestead offensive line's doing a nice job, but Goody's getting that ball out quick.
1st and 10, pump fake, now they look, and the throw into the seam is incomplete. He was looking that time for Sam Scavo, incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's one of those throws where you just get ready to let it go. At the last second, you see the safety flash, and you try to pull it back. So that's one of those that you're happy you missed, because if he puts that ball on the money, Northrop gets a big interception. So, and I think that's something else that's underrated with Goody. The more he plays, Joe, the more he'll get the feel for those types of throws.
Had only 4 interceptions a season ago. Second down and 10. Clock at 4:38 remaining in the half. And a handoff. Here's a run left side, Hardwick. Boy, he had some running room. Angles out of bounds, near side. Took it inside the 25. See if where are they going to mark that ball out of bounds?
How about his vision, Joe? Hardwick gets that handoff, and that vision's so good with those feet. You don't see a lot of dancing. It kind of reminds. We saw the scrimmage last week with Northside. A lot of people thought Northside would be better this year.
It is a first down for the Spartans at the 21. Roll to the right side. Goody throws on the run and comeback pattern and catch made around the 10. That is close to another first down.
That is a phenomenal pass. And looks like that Sam Scavo out there runs a nice route. That's the deep out. That's the play they teach you in the NFL. You got to put that ball on the money. That's why I'm so high on Goody. You're seeing tape laid down right now by Goody that is just phenomenal. The ability to throw the out, the ability to throw the fade, and he has command of the offense right now. If you're Northrop, maybe you roll the dice and you bring some heat, Joe.
It is a yard short of the first down. It'll be second down and 1 from the right side hash mark. Hardwick. He'll have the first and goal as he brings it inside the 10. Got a good block on the left side there by Owen Heyer.
And what's so good when you have a quarterback like Goody, when that football comes out so fast, Joe, even if you have some weakness or you're replacing some guys on the offensive line, the quarterback helps you out because he gets rid of the football so fast.
It'll be first and goal with the ball at the 9-yard line. Clock is moving inside 3.5 minutes, time remaining. 16-6, Spartans trying to add to their lead. Goody throws low ball, and let's see, was it caught?
Sure was. That's a great catch.
Scavo.
Oh, I thought he had it, Joe. Wow.
May have hit the ground.
I thought he had it that time. The timing was there. It was just the skinny post to the slot, and I thought Scavo had it, but they don't give it to him.
They say the ball hit the turf. No touchdown awarded. So 2nd and goal from the 9. Again from the right side hash mark. 2 wide to the left. In the slot is Archbold. Goody gives. There is Hardwick. Short side to the right. Got to the 5, maybe to the 4.
And that's good pursuit by Northrop to close those rush lanes. But what I like what Hardwick did, Joe, he planted the outside leg and went downhill and got some positive yards. I love the effort if I'm Northrop because my big guys are chasing backside. But now this is a huge play here, Joe. If you're Northrop, 3rd down, you'd love to hold them to a field goal.
Spotted at the 4-yard line of the Bruins. They try to make a stop, and Homestead trying to punch it in. Goody again waits for that snap. He's got it. Looks left, throws left, and he's got a touchdown. Easy grab. Jake Archbold from 4 yards out at the 2:26 mark. That was like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah, and that's just Goody looking at Archbold. Archbold's one-on-one out there in the slot. Timing is just a quick out, and there's no way Northrop can defend that. So that's Goody understanding the offense. We talked about Archbold being the weapon and getting that one-on-one coverage and taking advantage of that. So, Joe, good teams answer. That's a huge answer for Homestead against that Northrop touchdown.
Goody, his 2nd touchdown pass of the ball game. Gunnar Fry, gotta love that name, will come on to attempt the extra point, looking to make it 23-6 if he can. Right-footed kick is on the way, end over end, on the way, and it is good. So add 1 to the Spartan total, 23-6 with 2:26 remaining. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to performance training at Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. PSN Performance offers performance training for all levels of athletes in all sports. They have performance specialists and a sports dietitian on staff to help you get better.
Both runners are running. Play coming home.
From the crucial plays to the highlight of the game to the victory celebration, we are there. Summit City Sports isn't just a business. It's a group of companies investing in the youth of Fort Wayne athletics.
It's because of Parkview Sports Medicine, because of Kelly Automotive Group, Indiana Wesleyan University, University of St. Francis, and Big Eye Fish, that we can produce our broadcast viewed by hundreds of thousands in Northeast Indiana.
Support Summit City Sports. Become a sponsor. Join our winning team today.
And to see some of that capital come back in, Joe.
Fry again, tees it up. He'll kick it from the near hash mark, right to left. Approaching, here comes the boot. And a little shorter this time, fielded at the 15-yard line. Straight ahead carry across the 25, and whistles will blow. It'll be a gain up to about the 30.
Yeah, Homestead's done a nice job with their special teams. That time with the kick coverage, everybody was in their lane. That was Pettis trying to make something happen, but Homestead was disciplined to really control those lanes and do that. So now we'll see what Northrop can do. We talked about good teams answering. Northrop needs to put a drive together. You got a couple minutes left, so maybe you can go on 4th down possibly on this drive, but I like to go back to that quick passing game if I'm Northrop.
2:17 remains on the clock. Dylan Hunt looks, and now the whistles blow.
A quick 3 and out because you're so explosive on offense and you can score so fast.
Spartans corners, they come up in press coverage now. Here's Dylan Hunt. Short drop, looks, throws the fade to the far side. That one is up, and the ball, let's see, was it caught by the run? Sewell went up for it at 6-1, but ruled incomplete pass.
Yeah, good defense out there with Homestead. Had a couple of double coverage. So that time, Hoot, if you got double coverage on the outside, you got to roll back down to the short side and try to find your second option. So
Ryan Burton, one of those out there for the Spartans defending on the play. 2nd down and 10. That just took a couple of scant seconds off the clock. Still 2:11 remains. 2nd down and 10. Bruins from their own 30. They set up the screen, lob ball. There's a ball caught, but that took too long to get to Jeremiah Green, and Homestead was able to rally to the football, and Green a little upset. he wanted it a little crisper to himself.
Yeah, he did, and that's the defensive line recognizing that. Looked like Matt Miller, the sophomore that time out there, Joe, makes that play, but great recognition with your defense to read that screen, because if Green can get that ball in the open field, he's dangerous, but that shows you how well coached and how disciplined Homestead is.
And to execute that play, that screen, you've got to disguise it a little bit better as well. Joe getting ready to go down to interview. And it was Quaylen Pettis, ball intended for him, and got into a little bit of a shoving match with Donovan Leonard. I don't think there's a penalty flag thrown on that, but anything, that might have been offensive pass interference. But as it is, it'll be 4th down and 11. And with still 1:24 on the clock, and Bruins are going to have to kick that ball away. By Jorick into a punt. He waits at his own 15-yard line. Archbold is doing a lot of the punt returns, but they've got another number in there right now. We'll check it when we get a chance. Low snap again, and it's dropped, and that is all by Jorick is done. As Homestead is all over that one at the 16-yard line, and they'll take over the football right there. So you've got to get that ball back. Otherwise, you've got problems.
Homestead will have it 1st and 10 now. At the Northrop 12-yard line.
So the Spartans take over at the 16, and they've got a chance now with 1:22 on the clock to add to the 23-6 lead. Goody changing the play call at the line of scrimmage. 2 wide either side of the field. Looks, throws to the left. He's got a man. Touchdown. One play and a score for the Spartans. It will be good for actually 17 yards. Time of the score, 1:17. 17-yard touchdown. That was Jake Archbold on the touchdown catch. Goody, his 3rd touchdown toss of the night. And back-to-back to Jake Archbold now. And just like that, it's 29-6. So the one-play scoring drive. And now Fry with a right-footed kick. And looks good, is good. So add 7 to the total for the Spartans with 1:17 remaining. We'll be back here to Spooler Stadium. It's Homestead on top, 30-6. IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete.
Sports. Well, the Bruins kind of shell-shocked after that bad snap, and the inability to get the punt off cost them a touchdown. Now just trying to get back into the dressing room and regroup. Here comes the kick once again. Caught at the 5, return up the middle, good run. And there's a carry across the 30, 35, and up to the 37-yard line. Looks like that was Adrian Sewell. It was. And Sewell with a blast of speed. So good field position, but not much time with 1:10 for the Bruin offense. They'll spot it, in fact, up at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 Bruins. Dylan Hunt now last onto the field. Checking with Coach Jason Dorfler what he wants executed here in the dying seconds of this opening half. Corners again coming up in press coverage on the outside receivers. Here's the draw. And looking left side is Jeremiah Green, looking for running room. Did not find any and will at best get back to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. Bruins trying to come up with something. Waylon Pettis, who had a nice reception and run wide to the right. Play clock is down to 14 for Dylan Hunt. He's got 2 wide to the left side. They'll run, hand it off once again, and whistles blew, I believe, right at the snap. Not sure I see a penalty flag down on the field, and now Jerry Parker does call it's going to be a procedure call against the Bruins. Still do not see a flag down, though. That will take the clock down to 59 seconds. And it will bring up second down and 15. Ball back at the just inside the 33-yard line, right around the middle of the field. Second down, 15 yards to go. Bruins got a 5-yard touchdown run from Demarius Cowan. And Wright Hunt now with 3 wide to the near side. Jerry Parker again, referee, actually talking to Jason Dorfler about something, some issue. Some of the press box think there should be more time on the game clock. And they put up 102. Second down, still 15. Now we're ready to play football. 3 wide to the short side of the field for Northrop. Hunt a long count from the line of scrimmage. Hands again. And there's Cowan. Cowan spins across the 30. Trying to get back to about the 33, 34-yard line. And just not much there against this Homestead defense that's stacked against the run right now. And let's see, I think we're going to have another timeout. The second one assessed by the Spartans. They try to save time on the clock. Will step out as well. Still 30-6. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Blitz is coming up the middle. Here's a run, though, and Cowan spins, takes a tackler across the 35 and spins his way up to the 38, just short of the 30. Well, they spotted at the 39-yard line. Clock is going to stop once again. It'll be the 3rd timeout taken by Homestead, so 47 seconds remains. It'll be 4th down and 8 coming up when we return to Spooler Stadium. Timeout down below, and this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any
seconds before the punt shows 47 seconds now after the punt. Okay. It'll be 1st and 10 for Homestead now. And they'll have it at their own 36-yard line, make that. Joe Auburn down below, getting ready for our Parkview Sports Medicine interview here at halftime with Chad Zolman coming up. Here's Goody in, looks, low snaps, got it. Pump fake again, being pursued, throws the ball away that time. Had 3 of the orange shirts bearing down on him, decided better part of valor to just get rid of that football and save some time as well. Took 6 seconds off the clock. We'll be checking some of those other scores from elsewhere at halftime. Snyder, they were having their way earlier at Northside. Wayne against Bishop Dwenger. Carroll home to Lures. And same, but people moved, and that's going to cost the Spartans some yardage. And the clock now shows 14 seconds remaining. Penalty is going to take the ball back to the 31-yard line. And it will be 3rd down and 15. Goody with a protector in, drops to throw, loads, throws right sides, got the ball dropped again. So an opportunity lost perhaps for Homestead with just 2 seconds remaining, though. They will have a 4th down and will set it, see if they just run a play. They may not, well, they will have to take a snap on the incompleted pass. But they don't necessarily need to kick the ball, and they will not. They'll just run it. Here's an off-tackle run to the left side. And that'll be a gain across the 42 to the 43-yard line, and that is going to do and be that. So that will make it a 30-6 lead for the Spartans at halftime. And we'll be checking in with Joe Auburn as he looks for head coach Chad Zolman across the way.
Coach, excellent first half. Offensively, it seemed like running Hardwick early on opened it up for you guys to throw the ball in the second quarter.
Yeah, we didn't feel very crisp that first quarter. I mean, it felt like we were just off a little bit, like it's the first series, you know. So I felt like the second quarter, we got into a rhythm a little bit. We started throwing the ball better, catching the ball better, and up front we moved it. So I think it was just a matter of getting ourselves into a rhythm a little bit there in that second quarter. So they played a lot better in the second quarter.
Defensively, I thought you guys did a nice job keying on Jeremiah Green, and you guys really shut down their run game in the first half.
Well, we knew he was a weapon. We saw him last year and what he can do, and this kid's a really good running back. So our focus is on that run game and making sure that we're sound defensively. And our kids did a good job except for one drive. Gave up a couple plays, and other than that, we're pretty pleased with them.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach. So there you go, Joe. Coach Zolman's pretty pleased. They really opened up the offense in the second quarter, and you saw what makes Luke Goody so great, throwing those deep outs.
Joe Auburn with Chad Zolman down below with our Parkview Sports Medicine interview here at the half. We'll be checking in with Jason Dorfler prior to the start of the second half. 30-6, Homestead in the lead here at the half. We're coming back after the timeout with our Indiana-Michigan Power halftime show. And don't forget, we'll have interesting information coming up about a brand new redevelopment project potentially in downtown Fort Wayne. If you got your eye on a luxurious condo, you won't want to miss what we've got coming up here at the half. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. Whatever you need. We're winging it, brother. Nothing's going right.
All right, starting with the parking staff. Where's Griffin with us tonight? Quick Tim Samuel, the tight end and head Preston coach in 1999. Step forward, Tim. Mike Newman, the linebacker coach. Here's a name you recognize, Bob Shank, the wide receiver coach. And the head coach of this most successful team in Northrop history. I don't know. Mr. Matt Spencer, welcome back, Coach Peter.
I couldn't see you behind the.
I know.
It's okay, did you get it?
Yeah.
Tonight from that 1999 team. In numerical order.
Well, they always say the Rome was not built in a day. These are exciting times in downtown. Well, how's your history about what goes on in downtown?
Hey, how you doing?
Factory invoice. Every vehicle on our entire lot at Glenbrook Hyundai. Brand new Elantras, brand new Tucsons. Every new Hyundai on our lot. Thousands and thousands off MSRP. Actual factory invoice plus credit amnesty. If you bring home $350 a week, you get up to $30,000 in credit. 30 grand. You pick the vehicle. We hand you the actual factory invoice. That's all you pay. You can get out of your lease or loan today, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Brand new Elantras, brand new Tucsons, every new Hyundai on our lot. Thousands and thousands off MSRP. Every vehicle, actual factory invoice. Shop online with streamlined purchasing at GlenbrookHyundai.com or come in for a flexible test drive. Think Hyundai, Glenbrook Hyundai on Coldwater Road next to Red Lobster. Call 800-HYUNDAI. GlenbrookHyundai.com. GlenbrookHyundai.com.
With so many deals on the new $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's, it's like there's levels to the value. Level 1. Any size soft drink, McChicken, or small fries, just $1. Level 2. Order up a triple cheeseburger for only $2. Level 3. Or level up to amazing value with a $3 bundle. A McDouble and medium fries or ranch snack wrap and medium fries, just $3. Yum. Only at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Bigger than any box score, local sports are a victory for the entire community. Building up leaders, breaking down barriers, connecting generations, teaching integrity, blazing a trail, sparking our economy. That's why Meijer sponsors hundreds of local sports teams throughout the Midwest. From Little League to the big leagues, uniforms to stadiums, Meijer knows when we support the home team, we all win.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home. Momper Insulation can keep the cold out by sealing the leakage points and filling empty sidewalls, even through masonry or siding, without unsightly holes or blemishes. They're also experts at insulating crawl spaces, attics, and any place the cold could get in and ruin your winter. Let Momper seal your house, saving you 30 to 50% off your heating bill. Call today for a free energy audit before it's too late. Momper Insulation.
At Flagstar Bank, we know quality doesn't come from taking shortcuts. That's why Flagstar bankers work with you and take the time to get to know your goals. At Flagstar, we understand that listening to your needs goes into crafting something truly special. Your success. It may not be the easy solution, but at Flagstar, you can always trust that it's the right one for you. Flagstar Bank. What solutions can we craft for you? Flagstar Bank is a
We are super excited that this is a pet-friendly unit. So anyone that has dogs or cats, you're welcome to have them here as well.
And Ben, you've got some notable designers with reputation, high-end reputation. Rich Hirsch is going to be involved in the overall design. Cindy Friend is really has made her mark with interior designing, and that speaks well about what this project is really going to be about.
We really feel this project is very solid, and when we're able to attract the likes of a Rich Hirscha, he's been very passionate about this project. And we meet with him almost daily as he's sketching out all the floor plans and the roof pitches and what that might look like. It is pretty exciting, especially with his rich history, to take his rich history and put it along with our project is pretty amazing.
Now, Melissa, I saw the projected construction timeline suggests something like 2 years, but you're suggesting it might be happening a lot sooner than that.
Well, certainly 2 years is what's projected. We are really hoping to have at least the penthouse completed for people to tour within about a year. So it may go along a little faster.
Sounds exciting, guys. And how can people find out more and how they can become a part of this Queen Anne home redevelopment, if you will?
Well, they are welcome to give us a call at any time, and we'd be happy to talk through them some options as we're developing those currently.
And we also have an email address. It's the maddoxwallyteam@gmail.com. You can always email us for additional information. We're with Northeastern Group, and we're so proud to be part of WMW Development Company and seeing this project to fruition.
Melissa, give me that email address one more time.
It's maddoxwallyteam@gmail.com.
Well, there you have it. It's all part of the new and exciting things happening in downtown Fort Wayne. This Queen Anne home, tell you what, just might put you in the heart of everything exciting going on in downtown Fort Wayne. Now let's get back to more high school football right here on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any
That feels good. Well, the sun has dipped beyond the stands there on the west side of Spuller Stadium. And right now it is the Homestead Spartans who have
treated this Joe Auburn more like a home game on their artificial surface, as they have blasted out to a 30-6 lead here at the end of this first half. Looking at the line score of the ball game, Bruins got on the board in a hurry, benefiting from a bad snap on Northrop fourth down kick attempt. It got through the legs of a kicker, Tarek Bajoric, and rolled across the inline. It was ruled a safety. So at the 10:05 mark, it was Homestead that got into the early lead at 2-0. Of course, then it meant that the Bruins would have to kick the ball away, and Homestead would have it and a chance to get more points on the board, but they would use a fourth down conversion pass that in turn would set up a 1-yard touchdown run by Braden Hardwick at the 5:06 mark. Gunnar Fry came on to add the extra point. And so late in that first quarter, it was a 9-0 lead by Homestead. That lead would grow on a 39-yard touchdown pass from Luke Goody to Cam Rogers on the fly pattern down the right side of the end zone at the 9:30 mark. 39 yards on the scoring toss. Goody's first touchdown pass of the night. Fry again added the extra point to make it 16-0 Sparty. But then it would be Northrop that had a chance to get on the board. And it would culminate on a 5-yard touchdown run by Demarius Cowan as he would fight his way up the middle of the field at the 5:44 mark into the end zone. They would try for 2. That would fail, but the Bruins had some length, and more importantly, they had points on the board at the 5:44 mark of the second quarter to cut it to a 10-point ball game, 16-6. Thereafter, though, it would be all Homestead. They would score on a 4-yard touchdown pass into the flats left side. Goody found Jake Archbold at the 2:26 mark. Fry would add the extra point to make it 23-6, a lead of 17 points. And then once again, they would take over the football after a bad snap on a fourth down attempted punt by the Bruins. The Homestead Spartans would take over at the 17-yard line. It would take just one play to get into the end zone at the 1:17 mark. Goody again to Archbold. Good for the score at the 1:17 mark. And that would make it 30-6 here at halftime. The lead up by 24 points after Fry adds the extra point. He had 5 conversions last year, and Gunnar Fry has been busy here tonight, already with 3 touchdowns and a lead for the Spartans at 30-6. And Joe, how about your observations here, both teams here in the first half?
I thought Homestead did a nice job of establishing the run with Hardwick, and Northrop began to sell out to stop the run because Hardwick was so effective running between the tackles. And you heard Coach Zolman say Homestead was able to really attack them down the field. And I thought Goody was excellent getting rid of the football, because coming into this game, there were a lot of questions about this offensive line and some inexperience, but the offensive line looked great. Goody seems to really have a connection with Archibald out there, and I thought Homestead was just awesome on offense. And at times, Northrop shined on defense, Joe, but I tell you what, Homestead shows you their explosiveness. So awesome half by Homestead, but I also think really another big story was Homestead up front. They played the 3-3-5, taking away Northrop's run game.
Well, we wait for the teams to come back out here to start the second half. Right now it is a 30-6 lead by Homestead. Tell you what, let's take another 1-minute timeout. We're going to bring Joe Auburn back in and get some scoring updates from other games going on right here at Spooler, though. 30-6, Homestead on top. And this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket. BJ, looks like I'm going to have to revamp the format to add another break.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, Our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
What perfect night for high school football, and some interesting scores coming in around the area so far. It's a little bit of woodshed time around the area, Joe. Snyder's rolling Northside 35-0 over at Chambers Field, so says an awful lot about Snyder's ability to reload. We thought Northside would be better, but Snyder's rolling in that game 35-0. How about this? We talked about Bishop Lures and Carroll. Who can seize that momentum of the first week? It's Carroll so far, 14-0 over Bishop Lures, so that Carroll defense is controlling Bishop Lures. Now this one's a little bit of a shocker for me. Dwenger is all over Wayne, 35-6 in the third quarter. So I tell you, state champions, number 2 in the 5A poll, coming out and making a statement. And I love this one, though. Southside 14, Concordia 14. So a good game over at Zollner, and maybe a chance for Southside to get that win, Tommy. You hear me? It's been a long time since we've had a winning record, so I'd love to see Southside win that. But really, so far, Joe, the big boys flexing their muscles. Snyder at Chambers Field, Dwenger over at Wayne, and Homestead here in the first half against Northrop.
In case you missed the announcement, we were talking earlier, Joe, as you know, we have committed on October the 4th. We will bring you the totem pole battle. That'll be at Southside against Northside. That's a game, I believe, you correct me on this, I think it's the longest school rivalry.
It sure is, the longest rivalry. And what we're hoping to do with that game is maybe bring some past guys back and, talk a little bit about some of the past history and this and that. But that could be a game that both teams really need at that point. But I tell you what here, Joe, how about Homestead? We heard so much about the weapons on offense, and they didn't disappoint. But I tell you what, that offensive line played well in the first half, and I think that's where Coach Zolman was a little bit concerned. They only average about 240 across that front line, so that offensive line was good in the first half. And boy, Goody, when he's locked in and that ball's coming out of his hand, Homestead could be explosive.
Looking ahead at the games coming up, the Bruins, they are on the road at Southside next Friday night against your Archers. And as far as the Spartans, they are back home. They'll take on Concordia. And Concordia is one of those teams that you just never know. They remind me a lot of the teams I used to see over in Northwest Ohio. And I think of Delphus St. John's. They used to play the big schools. They were in a lower school bracket, kind of like Concordia. And they would go maybe 500 during the year. But they'd bump heads with all the big schools. And if they stayed healthy, by tournament time, they were ready to take care of business.
Yeah, and that's Concordia. Concordia's sneaky. That's the team that sneaks up on you in this conference and jumps up and bites you. Concordia is extremely well coached with Coach Manigill, and the quarterback position is emphasized at Concordia, and they're really prepared for the game. So Concordia is always a dangerous game. Also, so far with these scores early on, Wayne and Lures are behind in their game, so that matchup next week is going to be a couple of teams desperate to get a win there. So really some good matchups around the area. But isn't it great to kick off high school football? And you said, Joe, this is the nicest night for week 1 I think we've ever had in high school football. And then you put this turf in, too. And I tell you what, this turf is so nice. This isn't the turf that B.J. Steele and I played on. We used to play on parking lots back in the 90s. Isn't that right, Tommy? We played on parking lots back in the 1990s. This is so nice for these kids. And it's awesome because Snyder gets to use the field, too. But we got one problem for the Panthers. They're not going to like that Bruin in the middle of the field. So they might get a little unhappiness from Snyder, but how nice is it to have turf, Joe?
You know, we were talking about Concordia a little bit ago, and before the game, we checked in with Jason Dorfler. Of course, he and his dad, you know, Dean Dorfler was a longtime, coach of the football team and then athletic director. Of course, Dale Dorfler is a great football name, a legacy in this town as well. But we were both laughing. You know, it seemed like just yesterday we were calling Jason Dorfler's names when he was a quarterback for the Cadets. And, of course, it was 6 years now he's been a coach here at head coach at Northrop.
Time moves on for us. I'm not going to date you as long as you've been doing high school football. I've been doing it since 1997. They just celebrated the 20th reunion of the 1999 Northrop team that was the winningest team in school history tonight. I called all those games. I called the Northrop-Penn semi-state game. I called the game when Northrop lost to Snyder in their regular season. And I called the playoff game, Joe. So and it's kind of scary sometimes because Cam Rogers for Homestead, I called the games when
Ben.
Yeah, you and I called the games when his daddy Ben played.
And he, of course, was a star at University of St. Francis. And I do want to correct a rumor. There's no truth to the rumor that I called the games for Lou the Toe Groza. Okay, just
I tell
get that out of your head.
You're the only one that dates me. I'm not too far. I'm getting up there. But you know, it's funny you mentioned Rogers. Ben Rogers was awesome for the 99 Bruins. They just put him in the middle of the field, Joe, and he made every single tackle. But his boy is just as good, and I think his boy might be a little bit better because Cam Rogers can move so well, and we saw him catch a number of passes in the first half.
What was that baseball movie not long ago where had kind of an elderly pitcher, was then one of his younger teammates came up and says, "How was it playing with the babe?"
Yeah. I tell you, we've been around the block. We've seen a lot of good high school football. But would you agree, though, Joe? I think the high school football in this area continues to get better. And I think the difference between high school football now and 20 years ago is night and day. Because you know, Joe, with your Ohio experience, 20 years ago, Ohio would beat on us something fierce. Nowadays, you see some of these big schools play these Ohio schools. But I think the level of play is much, much better in this area.
Probably Bishop Dwinger's the best example of that. They played some of the Cincinnati teams and certainly held their own against them. They didn't always win, but they were at least battles. But and then you've got, we have got fascinated by Woodland the last couple of years. They've had the misfortune last year of playing Marion Local, who's won about 3 straight state championships. And by the way, Woodland goes to Marion Local this year. That was a game we looked at and we said, no, I think we'll pass on that.
And I gotta we want to hope that Coach Haydock for Woodland can make a speedy recovery from that heart attack he had, because it doesn't seem like high school football without having Coach Haydock on the sideline. Now, Joe, I didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Dorfler for Northrop, but I think really the improvement is trying to establish some offense and protect his defense.
Homestead kicks it away from right to left. We're underway in the second half. Deep kick comes down to the 10. Near side across the 20, 25, 30, up to about the 33-yard line. Push forward with the pile up to about the 34 is where the Northrop Bruins now go on offense for the first time this evening. And they've got some work to cut out for themselves as they're trailing it by 24 points here at home.
And I think they had some success in the first half throwing those short passes out there to Pettis. If I'm Northrop, I come back maybe on first down, attack a little bit, throwing the ball, and then I come back and run Jeremiah Green.
Adrian Scott into the ball game, part of the wide receiver set to the near side, motion to the right. Here is a block and a curl up the middle. That's Jeremiah Green as he squirts through across the 35 and brings up to the 37-yard line. Joe, this offensive line for the Bruins averages 228 a man, tackle to tackle. Devin McCullough at center, Jacob Smith and Juwan Hill are the guards. Jose Reducindo and along with Damon Bainey, they are the tackles.
Yeah, and Ray DeCindo was awesome. He had a 470 squat last winter in the weight room, so he is a strong individual out there.
Sewell in wide to the left. And here is a run again, trying to sweep to the left side. Nice cut up. That time off tackle run to the left side. And Hoot brings it out to about the 44-yard line, just short of the 45.
I'm telling you, Jeremiah Green is a special back. And sometimes we don't always see it because the Northrop offensive line is so young. But when Jeremiah Green can get a wiggle, Joe, and be able to make those cuts, he's explosive. So far on this drive, you see the big-time talent that Jeremiah Green possesses.
And that is a first down for Northrop. They've got it at their own 44-yard line. Hunt checks the near side for the play call. Now everybody checks their wristbands. 1st and 10. Running back offset behind Hoot to the right. And here is Green. This time he's wrapped up and dropped for loss back around the 42.
And that's where Northrop's got to change that play. You had some success run. Green, it's 1st and 10. Throw the ball. Give Hoot a chance to throw some quick passes out there, because once you run Green a couple of times, those Homestead backers are so good with Rogers and Martin, they're going to begin to key on him, Joe.
They'll give him a spot to the 43, call it a loss of 1. 2nd down and 11. Still decent field position, though, for the Bruins at their 43-yard line. They'll work from the left side. Hash mark is, here is Hoot rolling, looking, got a block. Now throws late downfield, up for grabs, and that one's picked off at the 43-yard line. That one is picked off. It is grabbed by Luke Palmer, who had an interception last year. He's got one here tonight.
Yeah, nice play by Palmer to come back. But when Hoot rolls like that, that ball has to come out early. He had him early on the play, but he held the football, and the number one rule at the quarterback position is you can't throw back across your body late to the middle of the field, because that's what happens. So nice recognition by Palmer to get the interception, but a big turnover for Northrop, and it really sets Homestead up to come back out and attack.
So much so that the Spartans will have it at their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10. So a short field to work with. Goody chats with each of his guards on the offensive line. Waits for the snap now and does not take the snap. Backs away still with 14 on the play clock. He's got a spread offense 2 wide to the right side. Hardwick has been the running back by and large. Low snap. Goody picks that up, throws, and he's got the quick hitter and then dropped. At Scavo in the stride, and now there's a penalty flag thrown, and that might be a hit against a defenseless receiver possibly, Joe.
Scavo had that football. That was a rope to Scazzo, and he couldn't come up with it. And maybe you don't agree with me. I don't like that call, because when the safety commits to make the hit, you can't stop. And I don't think he really hit Scavo that flush. But that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a personal foul on Northrop for a defenseless receiver, and that's a shame, because it was pretty good defense. But I never understand, and maybe I'm old school like Tommy Norris, I'll never understand the defenseless receiver, because once I commit to make the play in the tackle, he didn't hit him high. He hit him with his shoulder pad. I don't know how you stop a kid from making an aggressive play. And as a defensive coach, I'm always preaching be aggressive. So that's a tough call on Northrop, in my opinion.
No question. You know what they're trying to accomplish. They're trying to cut down on injuries. But football is football. It's a contact sport. And like you say, once you're a defender, and if you haven't left your feet after the ball has been dropped, that's one of those hairline calls that really you'd rather see no call, I think. But the penalty will take the ball down, and here is a run. Hardwick pushing. He's got the line pushing in front of him, brings it inside the 35 of the Bruins and down to about the 33-yard line.
And something that we haven't talked about a whole lot for Homestead, Joe, is the play calling. You know, the play calling seems so crisp. Homestead can throw it. Homestead can run it. You know, the play comes in. They get to the line of scrimmage. They seem to really be efficient with their play calling and the way they're attacking Northrop.
Jake Archbold's had quite a night already tonight. 2 touchdown catches wide to the left on 2nd down and 4. Now Griffin Little resets tight to the right side. Goody again. A ball got away from him behind him, and he's going to have to go down and try to pick it up and then throws it away. Now, did he get out of the tackle box? He went straight back.
Yeah, I was going to say that's grounding. And what happened on that is Goody just needs to cover that football and recognize it's 30-6 in this game. I would just cover the football, because at that point you're putting yourself in danger trying to scoop it up. You're trying to throw the ball away. That shows you what a great athlete he is, Joe, to be able to scoop that ball up. Looked like basketball the way he got it, but that's going to be grounding because he was not outside the tackle. And that's a situation where Homestead had their signals mixed up, and Goody thought the play was on 2, and they snapped it on 1. That's a big play for the Northrop defense, Joe.
Well, Goody trying to make his case to Jerry Parker, pointing and directing.
And you see how the ball's on the far hash mark? That's why he wasn't outside the pocket. He's saying, hey, man, I was outside the hash, but the ball was placed on the hash, so technically he wasn't outside the pocket. It's a great effort, but it's a good call that time by Jerry Parker.
Penalty moves the ball back to the Homestead 36-yard line. So now it's going to be third down, and I believe it's 35. It is 3rd and 35, and Goody, some distance to make up for now. Looks, pump fake, throws it over the middle as far as he can. He's got a man out there, and he's got it over the shoulder. Well, would-be catch, but then dropped. And that was 6, perhaps.
That's an NFL-type throw right there. That is just bringing the ball back and letting it rip, and that's Disler out there, and that's a couple drops, and Disler has so much potential, but obviously right now you got to be able to concentrate. Sometimes I think the wide receivers get surprised by the arm strength. That was an NFL-type throw, Joe. That was just ripping it 45 yards in the air. That hit Disler right in the hands, and if I'm Goody, I go to the sideline and I say, come on, man, you got to catch that.
So it brings up 4th down. And normally you say, well, no doubt that they're going to kick the ball. And Luke Goody is not always giving us that kind of a look where he's kind of thinking about pass or kick. But I believe they will kick on 4th down now in 35.
And you're going to have delay a game on Homestead. You don't see this very often because Homestead is coached well on special teams. They only had 10 guys out there, so one guy was on the sideline munching on peanuts or maybe having a hot dog and forgot that he was on punt team.
And, Joe, that is Ben Knight in there to kick the ball away, waits back at his 17. So Bruins should come up with pretty good field position on this punt. Now another penalty flag thrown. Still showed 12 on the play clock.
It's going to be false start on the up back for Homestead. So I tell you.
How would you like to be next to Chad Zolman right now?
Well, they're taking notes right now. And what happens is tomorrow morning, they say the big eye in the sky don't lie, and they put that tape on, and all of a sudden you were on special teams and you didn't show up. Then the guy jumps off, and Zolman's going to go absolutely nuts at this point.
And, Joe, you know how this goes only too well. Yeah, it's probably going to be Homestead with a big win, but what will the coaches focus on?
Oh, yeah, this stuff.
It was like you lost. So now the ball's back. Well, the Knight, and here's the snap to him at the 12, and they nearly got the block. Northrop did, but the kick is away.
And a break for Northrop, a short punt. Best field position tonight for Northrop. And it's funny, you mentioned those film sessions. What I used to do is I'd try to excuse myself to the bathroom because I knew at that point in the game when a bad play, but that was disaster for special teams for Homestead. And what happened was Disler drops a pass, and Homestead really as a team lost their composure, Joe. So now I know it's 30-6, but now an opportunity for Northrop to get a little bit closer. And if I'm Northrop, who has got to rip that football, and I attack with that short passing game.
Bruins will have the ball at the Homestead 33-yard line. 1st and 10, moving left to right as we look at it. Dylan Hunt in at quarterback, looks, hands the ball off, straight ahead carry. That will be a gain down, trying to fight their way to the 31. I thought they had a chance to reach the 30, but no, they actually marked that ball back at the 32. It'll be a gain of 1.
Jeremiah Green is running so hard. I'd love to maybe see him on the outside a little bit more. They're attacking Homestead in the middle of the defense, Joe, but Green, maybe you get him on the edge. But I tell you, Homestead's making Northrop throw the football, and Hoot has got to step up and make a play.
Now the Bruins show 3 wide to the right, including Quellen Pettis, who had a catch. Here's a throw to the right in traffic, and the ball is deflected and intercepted, and Spartans will have it at their own 21.
And that's a shame because Hoot throws a good ball. It hits the Northrop receiver, and that's a heck of a play by the Homestead defender. I thought it was incomplete, Joe, but I think they're going to call that he had his hands underneath it. So that's a heck of a defensive play for Homestead, and that's a shame for Hoop. That's 2 interceptions now, and that's a situation where you got to help your quarterback out. It was Eli Fincher that was running free in the seam for Northrop. The ball hit him in the chest, and he couldn't catch it, and Homestead comes with a big interception. That was Archibald, Joe, that got the interception. And how many plays has Archibald made tonight? I didn't think he had his hands underneath it, but Archibald's a big-time prospect, a D1 prospect, Joe.
1st and 10, Spartans at the 21. Goody does hand the ball off, and Northrop trying to defend, but here's a little turn up field on the near sidelines. Again, across the 25 to the 27 by Braden Hardwick again.
That's why Hardwick's so good, Joe. He was hitting the backfield that time, shakes it off sides, gets upfield, and gets 7 yards. That's why Hardwick is so good, Joe. He never gives up on plays.
That will be a gain of about 7. 2nd down and 3. This time, the Spartans from the left hash mark. And the look read option again. Hardwick cuts to his left. Hardwick across the 30, 35, up across the 40. Still on his feet, taking tacklers into Northrop territory. One is at, oh boy, help me, Joe, Obakalaka.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. O-line's doing a nice job for a Homestead, but we talked about Owen Heyer, the left tackle. How about Brady Parker, 71? You mentioned, Joe, getting downfield, throwing a block. But how about Hardwick? One cut and go for Homestead.
Now they're on the move again at the 45 of the Bruins. Goody looks low snap, but hands it off, and Hardwick curls up the middle. There's a penalty flag thrown, though, at the 40, right in the middle of the play.
Yeah, you're going to get holding on Homestead this time. And if you watch that play, Joe, you can see Hardwick and Homestead, Northrop starting to get tired. Hardwick's not getting hit till he gets about 4 or 5 yards down the field. So Homestead's exploding off the ball and getting downfield. And they got him that time for holding. But, you know, a big question mark was really the Homestead offensive line. And we felt like Northrop had some advantage with some of the seniors on their defensive line. But Homestead's done a pretty good job with that offensive line.
Penalty will move the ball back on the Spartan side of midfield to their 47-yard line. It will be 1st down, but 1st down and 18 now. Here's motion by Archbold. And instead of a counter run back to the left side, Hardwick spins across midfield, got to the 49. Another penalty flag thrown in the backfield of the Spartans.
And Homestead's getting a little sloppy, I tell you. Homestead's had some mistakes on special teams. They just had the big holding. I think they're going to have another holding call this time. So I just complimenting that offensive line. Now a couple of mistakes, and Homestead's going backwards.
Holding the call against the Spartans. Officials marching it off back inside the 40-yard line of Homestead, back to about the 30. Well, they'll set it down. Knows the football just inside the Spartan 37-yard line. Clock stopped down on the field with 6:54 remaining. We've not had a score here in the second half. 30-6 at halftime. That's where we are still in this third quarter. And remarkably, it's still 1st down, but 1st down and 28. Goody's gone all the way tonight at quarterback for the Spartans. Play action fake, throws right, looking downfield, and that one.
Yeah, you had to tuck it that time, Joe, and how about that push up front for Northrop? That was Jordan Young that gets the sack that time, and Goody wanted to let it go, but Young beats the block and makes the play. And we talked about the Northrop defensive line. Nigel Robertson and Jordan Young are all conference players up front.
Well, Joe, I guessed wrong. We're looking through filtered glass here. I saw Goody load up, so I went to the open window, and by that time he pulled it down. So faked me out that time, and that will bring up now. Well, the officials discussing again. We apparently had yet another penalty flag.
I think they're debating if there was an illegal man downfield. We'll see.
No, it's going the other way.
Going the other way. Wow, that's a big penalty. We'll see what personal foul. Wow, man, I didn't see that, Joe.
That'll take the ball to the Northrop 47.
That is the first just crushing penalty against Northrop. I didn't see it. I thought it was a clean play by Young to get him down, but those are the mistakes you can't have. That's the stuff, if you're Coach Dorfler, that drives you absolutely nuts. Creates a 1st down, gets him out of a huge hole, and you just can't give a good offense that kind of penalty.
Well, that's one of the reasons why some of these games take 3 hours, too. Right now, we still have 6:24 remaining in the third quarter. It will be, I don't think they've corrected. It shows first down at about 13. Goody loads, looks in the slot. He's got a catch at the 40-yard line and a run inside the 35 down to the 32-yard line.
Just
and
timing.
Let's see who
Just
came up with
timing
that ball.
time. I tell you, the timing with Goody and his wide receivers.
That was Nate Anderson.
That's Nate
on the
Anderson. And I think Nate Anderson's getting a little bit of run because Dissler's had some drops. But that was the square in that time, Joe. From Goody, we've seen the go route. We've seen the deep out. We're seeing the square in. I mean, we're seeing everything in the passing game.
Now the officials want to take a timeout. That stops the clock with 5:57 remaining. Right now the lead is 24 points. And Joey, we got a moment. You were talking at halftime to me about one of the new rules in the IHSAA, and they have kind of a semi-mercy rule that once the differential gets, 35 points, then you have a running clock.
Yeah, that's right. That's a new rule this year. They came up with a mercy rule, so it seems funny to have a mercy rule for football, but they have one now.
It'll be 1st and 10. Here's Hardwick, runs to his right, got a block, turns the corner at the 30. Is going to get at least another 3 or 4 yards down close to the 27, maybe the 26.
Yeah, and the minute you get on those wide receivers against Homestead, they can come back and run Hardwick. So, we talked about it in the pregame, and we talked about it a little bit last week when we had the Northside Bishop Lure scrimmage. Homestead is loaded with weapons, whether it's Rogers at slot, Little at tight end. You got Dissler. You got the great back who's run hard tonight, Hardwick, and you got the quarterback, so lots of weapons.
And a straight ahead carry by the Spartans inside the 25 to the 23. Northrop pushes it back, but forward progress will be marked down to about the 24 is where they're going to mark that ball.
I know it may not seem like it, but this is a better Northrop defense that we've seen. In years past, Joe, we've done some Northrop games where it's just like it's a runaway game. Northrop has better personnel out there, but Homestead is loaded at the skill positions.
Joe, one guy we've not mentioned for Homestead much in the second half, at least offensively, is Cam Rogers.
Yeah. I think they're being a little bit careful. I haven't seen him in quite as much on offense, Joe.
Again, Hardwick looks to that right side. It looks like they're trying to take advantage and explore something, and he will get yardage down to about the Bruin 21.
Good back, runs hard. Only a junior, Joe. 5'9", about 180 pounds, but just one of those backs that plays much bigger than his size.
That will be good for a first down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. And that's not right. Let's see where that ball is. Going to be down around the 21, I believe. And Goody wants to throw again, has time, throws in a crowd, and he's got a touchdown. Stumbling catch, and that's been Sam Scavo, I believe, on the catch.
Yeah, Scavo is a great route runner. And that time, Scavo runs the post. And what's so impressive about Goody is everything's on time. And I tell you, Ryan Dellinger laughed at me last week when I told him I thought Goody was the best high school quarterback prospect I have seen. And I'm telling you, he's showing it tonight, Joe. And that's coming from a guy who's an old quarterback. That ball comes out, and that ball are frozen ropes hitting the guys right between the numbers.
So the interception by Jake Archbold pays dividends for Homestead as they will extend the lead now out 36-6. It's a 30-point advantage. Gunnar Fry on to attempt the extra point. He's had a busy, successful night and looks to be good again on this one. Conversion is good, and it will be a lead of 31. So timeout on the field. 4:07 remains here in the third quarter. All Spartans now as they've added score in the second half. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Inside the cut the lane back to 2 and 22.
Official playing surface here at Spooler Stadium, and Homestead has by and large had the better of it, Joe.
Yeah, they really have. They've gotten the job done, and if you're watching Summit City online, you can see the scores. For our radio listeners, well, there's some big blowouts, Joe. Big-time blowouts. Snyder's 51-0 over Northside. Dwanger's all over Wayne, 41-6.
There's a ball coming down and fielded and then lost out of bounds around the 15. I believe that was Cowan that really didn't wrap up on that ball very well, and let's say where they do spot it, but it's going to be the Bruins backed up.
Yeah, now maybe a time to get a little bit of momentum for Northrop. Try to get your offense going and see if you can establish some things, because, you know, this game isn't going well tonight, but you got Southside next week, and, you know, Southside's down now 20-14 to Concordia, so good game over at Zoner. Don't look at me, Tommy. But really, Northrop's got to get some momentum, Joe, and Northrop's got to be able to throw the ball. And this is a chance to throw it, and they may even make a quarterback switch.
And, you know, it starts with getting first downs. You got to, confidence and success builds confidence. Hunt turns around, checks his running back. Now he's got motion, and they'll have two lead blockers. As there's a run, though, by Green. Green turns the corner, brings the ball across the 25 up to the 30-yard line, and that's the name of the game. You get blocking in front, and they execute. You're going to have a good run.
Yeah, and Northrop has made a change at quarterback now, so Hoot's out of the game, and they're going to go with the backup. So
you want me to say that?
I'm going to let you. I'm staying away from that because you're better with this than me.
Issa Chikari.
Yeah, Issa
is what
Chikari,
they told us.
Very well. But Issa is a run-pass threat option, and maybe he can spark the offense a little bit.
Well, he's 6'3", senior, 185. And he's got a first down, a little better improving field position across his own 30-yard line. And he looks to hand it off. No, he keeps the ball himself and has a burst of speed and got a couple of yards up to about the 32, maybe close to that 33-yard line.
He's a little more of a running threat than Hoot, so they think they can run a little bit more of the read on that with him. But at some point, we'll see if he can throw the ball, Joe, because, again, Northrop is talented on the outside with their wide receivers.
Chikari comes back in and ran over to the near sidelines. Coach Dorfler, and right back in the huddle now. They have three wide to the left, the short side of the field. Running back offset to the left side is Jeremiah Green. Here's motion now, back left to the right side, and Chikari to throw. Throws as far as he can down the left side. He's got a man out there. That one is caught.
That's a great pass.
Wow.
That's a great pass. And what he did that time, Joe, Chikari, what he did was he looked off the safety and came back and threw the fade route. That's a phenomenal catch. Now we're going to see what the flag is out there. Now we got another flag, and I tell you, at some point, gosh, do you have to throw so many flags in every play? We could have a personal foul after the play when they get out of bounds, and then I think the second flag could be something that Northrop said, but that's a great play. That's a great pass, and that's what Northrop needs to do is stretch the field, Joe. But the reason it's sold is because he looked the safety off and came back to that man-to-man coverage, so that's what Northrop needs. And how about the quarterback play?
Joe, you got two senior quarterbacks with no experience.
Oh, they're both on Homestead. Now, that's a surprise. I knew that looked like Homestead a personal foul with the hit out of bounds, but the second one was mouthing off to the referee. So, ooh, boy, I'm going to tell you what, those are the ones, boy, you don't want to, the heck with going to the bathroom during film session. You better get out of the building because Coach Zolman's going to chase you to the parking lot. You don't see that very often with Coach Zolman teams.
First walk-off took the ball to the 16. The second one will take it inside the 10 down to about the 9, or is that the 8-yard line?
Double personal foul. Wow, it's the 8-yard line. That's huge.
Well, we're looking through tinted glass here, and it can be a little interesting trying to find position. If that's Green again that got the call.
Yeah, that's Green, and Green loves it when the quarterback can open the offense up throwing the football, because that time there wasn't 8 guys in the box. Green has some running room, and Green's awesome. So I tell you, Hoop got his first varsity start, but Northrop may have a quarterback switch going the rest of the year.
Second down and goal from the 5-yard line. The only other Bruins score came back in the second quarter on the 5-yard touchdown run by Demarius Cowan. Chikari in there in relief at quarterback. Looks to his left. Play clock is at 3. He's got to hurry. He's got motion. Here's Green again. Fights his way. Got to the 4, maybe the 3, then pushed back. Got a Bruin downfield blocker getting up slow.
Yeah, that was Luke Palmer that helped make the tackle for a Homestead. I thought Green might get to the goal line, but Palmer filled that hole. So that's basically ISO. That's strength on strength, and that time Homestead gets the stop.
Yeah, they've not helped us on the scoreboard clock. We do have 1:49 remaining. It'll be 3rd and goal, and I've got the ball just inside the 5-yard line. So a big play right now. Let's check the wideouts. Pettis, big receiver potentially at 6'4", wide to the right. Chikari out of the gun, short drop, looks, throws the fade, looking for Pettis, and he had the ball. He's got it. Did he stay in bounds? No. No catch. Ruled out of bounds. Bobbled just enough, Joe, along that end line. He could not get 1 foot in bounds.
I thought he was going to make the catch, but it was a great recovery by Donovan Leonard. You know, before the game, Coach Zolman said he was one kid that had a great camp, and Leonard is able to make the recovery and knock that ball away. So I thought Pettis had it, but an even better play by Donovan Leonard.
So it's 4th down, still goal, and from the 4-yard line, same set. Pettis wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. Corners come up and press coverage again for the Spartans. 2 safeties back, and here's a screen, and that one deflected away, and they're going to rule that an incomplete pass, I believe. So they try for 4, fails, and it will remain 37-6 with still 1:20 remaining in this 3rd quarter.
Good defense by Homestead. They called the blitz that time. Northrop has the wide receiver screen on, and it's just a bad play call for what Homestead's running. And that's one of those situations you wish you could check out of it, but just a better defensive call for Homestead.
So from a Spartan standpoint, they stopped the drive. That's the good news. The bad news, they got the ball back at their 4-yard line. Now Goody out there still at quarterback. Clock is not started, obviously, with the change of possession. Got a running back, but he wants to throw into the end zone. Throws it to the right. Incomplete. Too strong of an arm that time. Looking downfield for Jared Kistler.
Yeah, he wanted to really let it go, but that was great coverage out there by Tano Ridley. And Ridley's long. He looks like a corner, 6 feet, about 160 pounds. I've watched him tonight, and he's done a nice job with the man-to-man coverage. And Goody keeps looking out there and says, I got man-to-man coverage. I want to attack it. But Ridley's a ball player for Northrop out there.
Now Nate Anderson wide to the left side. He's got 5'9" Darius Sanders defending on him. And here's Goody to throw again. Flushed out of the pocket. Throws off balance. He's got a catch and a run up to the 40, 45. And they will not get a touchdown. But that was a good play all downfield for the Homestead Spartans.
Yeah, that's Scavo,
I believe. Sam Scavo.
Scavo makes the catch, and that's the wheel route from the slot. Northrop had some confusion on their communication, and Goody's patient and lets it fly. So I tell you, this is a clinic of how to play quarterback right now with Goody.
And Joe, he kind of threw that with a jump pass as well out of the end zone.
Because he's so athletic, and this is what a lot of us wondered last year when they were alternating. We wanted to see more Goody, and now this year we're seeing it.
Now they've got it at the 46-yard line of the Bruins. Hardwick again doing what he does. Rolls to his right side and carries to the 40 of the Bruins. Maybe another yard.
Yeah, good push up front, and that tackle out there for Homestead. Grant Parker, number 52, is really getting into the Northrop defender and doing a nice job of riding him down. So I tell you, as far as getting off the ball, you know, getting after it on the offensive line, Homestead's done a nice job tonight, Joe.
Clock approaching 30 seconds remaining here in quarter 3. Spartans on the move once again. Goody, quick screen to the left, but Northrop defended that one well. And that's Antoine Scott got into the mix. And is he a little slow getting up?
Hey, he's a ball player, 5'11", 205. Let's hope he's okay because Northrop's going to need him, and he's got a shot. I felt like he might be an all-conference linebacker, so let's hope he's okay because Northrop can't afford to be down any defenders.
Scott limps off the field, hops off the field actually on his own power. Clock stopped right now with 26 seconds remaining. That was ruled an incomplete pass here late in this third quarter. Goody again checks with 6 seconds on the play clock. Moves up to the line of scrimmage with 3, with 2, with 1. And there's a bad snap between his legs. I think they called a timeout before the play clock expired. And Fox Sports 1250, the ticket.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any.
Spartans at the Bruin 40, and here's a quick pass intended for Jared Kistler to the right. That's off his fingertips, incomplete.
We've seen a lot of blowouts in the area, Joe. Carroll now 35-0 over Bishop Luers.
It's a little bit of a surprise, isn't you say?
That's a surprise. I'm shocked. Dwenger 41, Wayne 6. Snyder's all over Northside. That mercy rule is in effect out there. And 20-14, last score check we had, Concordia over South.
Goody on short, 4th down. Wants to throw, looks, has time, and a drop ball again. But there's a penalty flag here, quickly thrown on the near sideline.
I tell you, poor Distler's going to want to burn this tape. That's another drop on Distler. We'll see what the penalty flag is on 4th down. See if Northrop got a stop. Face mask personal foul. Wow. That's another bone-breaking penalty on Northrop. And, boy, you can't help this offense.
If the middle of the field and he had 1 tackle to defeat, otherwise he might have scored. Does bring it down inside the 15-yard line.
Kind of reminds me of those St. Francis running backs, you know. Just so shifty and so quick. And speaking of St. Francis, another big season for you guys coming up, huh?
Got it a little bit later start. I think it's, the 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
They open up at University of St. Francis Joliet, Illinois. Then a week off because a team they were scheduled to play in week 2 called it quits. Didn't want to play, not just St. Francis, didn't want to play anybody in football. Lindenwood Belleville gave up the program. That, by the way, penalty is going to back Homestead up.
Holding on Homestead. So looked like a positive play, but they got the right guard that time on the hold.
Cougars won't have a home opener, by the way, till about mid-September.
Wow.
First 2 games effectively are going to be on the road this year.
And when you lose an opponent, it's so tough for you guys to schedule.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword because, you know, most of the NAIA schools don't want to play either Marion or St. Francis, and the NCAA 2A teams don't want to take a chance to be embarrassed. It is the end of the third quarter, so it will be 37-6, 31-point advantage for Homestead. We'll be back for quarter 4 action, and this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, the ticket.
Welcome back, everybody. We start the fourth quarter, and it will be the Spartans. And here is Goody, loads, fires over the middle. He's got a catch this time, held on to. The carry inside the 20, down to the 19, and that was Scavo on the receiving end.
Scavo's tough. He catches everything thrown his way, and that time Goody looked outside, then came right back in the middle, and Scavo tucked right between those linebackers. So you can see, Joe, Goody's got quite a command of this offense.
Spartans keeping their ones in there right now. Kistler wide to the right. Hardwick, the running back. Scavo remains in there. He's part of the trips package, wide to the left. And it will be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Here's Hardwick this time looking for a block. Gave ground, circles back to the 20. And cuts it up maybe another yard to the 19.
Yeah, better defense for Northrop to chase and make that play. So Northrop still playing hard out there. That time Nigel Robertson fought off the block and made that tackle. So better defense, and I feel like Northrop's got some building blocks this year, Joe.
You know, you talked about Robertson and Antoine Scott went out a little bit earlier. Those two combined for 91 tackles a year ago. So, you know, there was some building blocks for Jason Dorfler defensively to build on. Goody to throw again. Looks, pulls it down, now throws and has got a catch. That's Scavo again, curled down to the 15. That's where they'll spot the ball.
Scavo's brave out there because Godfrey that time for Northrop absolutely punished him, but no problem running that slant and catching that football. So, man, you can just see Homestead has an awful lot of weapons, Joe.
And that will be a 1st down. Homestead on the move now in the red zone with 10:24 remaining. Again, 2 wide either side of the field. Goody rolls to his right side, looking, throws on the runs, catch at the 10. Here's Kistler, cuts it up, fights inside the 5, and got down to about the 2-yard line. And the Spartans will be knocking on the goal line once again.
And that boy, Jared Kistler, he catches it that time, Joe. And I'm telling you, he's a big-time prospect. You know, he's 6'3", 200 pounds. Good hands. We haven't seen it at times tonight, but he's a good football player and another weapon. And it's good to see him catch that ball.
Bruins making a change defensively now as Devin Baney comes in. He's 6'7", 230.
Wow.
1st and goal from the 3. Spartans work from the right side hash mark. Goody looking to his left. Resets Hardwick. Low snap. Now they pick up that, the snap. And did they get into the end zone on that? Apparently
Sure
they did for a touchdown. That one looked like it was going nowhere on the low snap.
Because Goody's hands are so good from the basketball court. He scoops it up, and Hardwick, every single play, Hardwick runs so hard, Joe. He's so difficult to tackle, and really impressed with the weapons at Homestead, but especially impressed with Hardwick tonight. I mean, he's really had a great football game.
Homestead with all the scoring now in the second half. They lead at 43-6. I think they're going to stay with Gunnar Fry, and why not? He's had the most successful night tonight, adding points with his foot. Here's a low snap, but the kick is blocked this time. So that's the first thing that we put the hex on him, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
that'll leave it 43-6, though. 9:36 remains, and we'll see now if the rule now comes into effect when we start things when Northrop has possession. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Do you have the stats in there? I was just curious how many yards Hardwick had. How many touchdowns does Hardwick have?
Sir, what's the rule about the clock now? If it's a 35 point?
That's 35 point. But when the game gets more than 35, it's a running clock. And if it goes below 35, it still becomes a running clock. Okay. How many touchdowns does Hardwick have, Joe? How many touchdowns does Hardwick have? 2.
Well, you look at some of the key performers tonight for the Homestead Spartans, Joe Auburn. You've got Jake Archbold with back-to-back touchdown catches. Now, Braden Hardwick, who had a
touchdown run early in the ball game back in the first quarter. He's added another one here.
How about the balance on the Homestead offense, Joe, with everybody getting involved tonight?
And here is Fry with a kick. End over end. Down inside the 5. Return far sidelines to the 10, 15.
Shed tonight. Snyder rolls. Northside over at Chambers Field. How about Carroll? 41-0 over Bishop Lewis. I'm shocked by that.
That's a surprise.
And now Concordia starting to stretch out on Southside 28-14. So that's kind of what we expected with that. But I don't think we expected so many lopsided scores as we're seeing tonight, Joe.
Well, the Bruins now will try to get something going. The clock runs inside of 9 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Chikari in there, it still hands the ball off, and Homestead stout defensively up the middle and do not yield much.
No, they don't. They're getting great push up front, and that's Cole Etchison that time making the tackle, number 30 for Homestead. And Homestead's got so much talent on defense, and I love the way they attack to the football.
Issa Chahari with his second series in there. Had a long completion in that last series that gave him hopes of trying to get into the end zone, but could not get it done. And they have remained with just that lone touchdown in first. And now he drops the ball, but now runs and across the 20, fights his way up across the 25, and that's close to a first down. They'll mark it up at the 27-yard line, short by about a couple of yards of the first down stick.
Yeah, he's pretty fluid out there moving around, Joe, and he's got some wiggle, so I like what they're doing with him.
Nose of the football just out across the 27. They've got to get to just inside the 29 to convert. So it'll be third down and a little bit better than a yard. 3 wide to the short side of the field. Interesting lineup for the Bruins. And that 1 wide to the right, that's got to be Quillian Pettis. Now the linebackers drop, as here is a quick run to the weak side to the left, and that may be good for the first down. It will be.
Yeah,
across the 30 to about the 31.
Yeah, good run again by Jeremiah Green. I'm big on Jeremiah Green. I think Jeremiah Green does a nice job making that cut and getting downfield, Joe. And I think I project him at the next level to be a explosive back.
Well, put your comments in the context. He's going against a defense that knows he's coming.
Absolutely, and against maybe the best linebacking group in the area, and he continues to run hard.
First and 10 now at the 33-yard line. Chahari wants to throw, looks, now is going to scramble, turns upfield to his 35, gets up to the 39, and he'll pick up another 5 yards on that scramble run.
Yeah, he's quick and explosive, Joe, and I think Northrop should go with him next week. He seems to add an extra dimension, and that time Green came up and picked up the blitz and made a tremendous block on the linebacker for Homestead. So not only does Jeremiah Green run the football, he can also do the blitz pickup.
Gain of 6. Pettis would love a chance. He's wide to the right. 2 safeties back for the Spartans. Wade back around the 45-yard line. Chahari again waiting for that snap. Looks to hand it off to Green. Green trying to find some running room. Will not. Knocked down back around his own 40. Back around the 39. In fact, inside of that. So that's a loss to bring up third down, and let's call it 4.
Yeah, good push up front with Homestead. I tell you, that looked like that was Andrew Baer that time, the junior defensive end, Joe, 46. You know, he's second team defensive end, but another good prospect out there. So, you know, we see this 3-3-5, but Homestead's coached well with the defensive line.
2 wide to the left for Northrop now. 2 wide to the right. Here's Issa Chahari. Looking and takes the ball himself, rolling to the right, throws on the run, downfield, ball's fought for, tipped in the air. That might have been intercepted. No indication by the official on the far side yet.
And Chahari's got to throw that ball quicker. That route came open right away, and he's kind of got his head down because he knows it. Looked like it was incomplete. We'll see if the Homestead defender could keep his feet in bounds, but Chahari's got to get that ball out quicker because that play was there, Joe. And you have to understand, the more you play the position, you're throwing into windows, and you just can't be late on some of those throws.
Officials still standing and conferring back down around the 41.
It's going to be incomplete. It was close to an interception. I think Coach Zolman was out there politicking for the interception, but I think that's the right call. So we'll see what Northrop can do here, Joe.
It will be still 3rd down and 4. Clock does move in this situation. Might have been, is there an illegal downfield call? Well, they're taking the ball all the way down.
They must have called a penalty. I don't know what they called, if they called pass interference. I don't know what that was. Must have been pass interference, Joe.
That takes the ball to the 46-yard line. So a new chance, new downs for the Bruins, trying to cash in late in this ball game and salvage something. Here's a sweep coming up, a turn, and trying to step out of a tackle at the 45. That was Menson that got the call on the sweep, coming back to the near side here to his left. And he'll pick up a net gain of about 1 yard. Joe Walburn getting ready to check down on the field with our Parkview Sports Medicine post-game interviews coming up, part of the Walburn Financial Management post-game show. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Clock just over 3 minutes remains in this ball game. Jahari, the senior quarterback, trying to pick up experience on the job training. Steps out of one tackle, ran into traffic though, right about the 46-yard line. That'll be a little bit of a loss. And we'll bring up 3rd down and 10. They would need to reach the 30, well, just inside the 36 of Homestead on this snap. Well, on a 3rd down call, they would have a couple of snaps. And the clock does keep running, as we mentioned, in these mercy rule situations. So we're down to 2:20 remaining to play in the ball game. Straight drop to Hari, looking, throws. Left side's got a man. That ball is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Eli Fincher. Was thrown a little bit to the inside as he was running the wheel route to the near sideline and tried to come back to the ball, but just could not find the handle. So now it will be 4th down with under 2 minutes remaining. Still spot that ball back at the 46-yard line. Again, the Bruins on this snap need to get it inside the 36 to keep possession of the football. Menson between receivers, part of that trip package, wide side right. Little look off, a throwback to the left side. They got a man out there. The ball is well caught. Adrian Sewell had it for a moment, but could not secure it. And that'll be a 4th down stop for Homestead. And they will take over the football as the clock continues to run now, as we'll be down to 1:12. 2nd, 4th down stop by the Spartans here in this second half. Well, let's see, they're going to move that ball down to the 31-yard line, so apparently a penalty has kept it in the hands of the Bruins now. New life, here's the throw, fade to the right side, jump ball up, and that one now, a penalty flag is thrown again. Now the clock in this situation does stop with 22 seconds remaining. It was Pettis that went up in a jump ball situation at 6'4". Now they do run the clock again, and maybe just a moot point as we're down to 1 second, and that is going to be it. So that will put the cap on this interesting finish here tonight at Spooler Stadium. 43-6 is our final score. And before we turn it back for the Walburn Financial Management post-game show, we'll wait for the handshakes coming up at
midfield. And, of course, we'll be bringing Joe Walburn in with our Parkview Sports Medicine post-game interviews. They'll be looking for Chad Zolman.
Joe, I'm down here with Coach Zolman. Coach Zolman, congratulations on the first win. It seemed very business-like the way you guys came out here and got after it in the first game.
Well, I mean, it's a good win against a quality opponent. You know, we're pleased with that, but, you know, it's a little frustrating with the penalties we had and things like that. We got a lot to clean up. We got a long way to go to get where we want to be, but it's a very good start. You're right.
Offensively, we saw all your weapons. Archibald, Goody seemed to really deliver the football, running the football with Hardwick. He was awesome. But I want to ask you about your offensive line, because we felt like Joe Parsons and I, coming into this game, the key matchup would be the Northrop defensive line against your offensive line, and I thought they were awesome tonight.
Yeah, you know, that we were a little untested there. We had 2 returning starters, got 3 new guys in there, so they're still finding their way, trying to mesh, trying to get better, and I think it's a really good confidence booster. We put 40-some points on the board, and we hope that carries through the season.
Defensively, I thought your linebackers were awesome, but you were strong up front, and you had a lot of penetration, and that was one of the conference's best backs you went against tonight, and Jeremiah Green.
Yeah, we're not big, but our kids can move. They do a good job up front, and we have to play with speed, and I felt like at times we really did play with speed. It was good.
Lastly, you've done this many years coaching high school football. When you go through those practices, and nowadays it's almost goes on all year long, what gets you going when you wake up? I mean, how awesome is it to be able to coach and have all the success at Homestead? So when you wake up on a Friday morning, first game of the year, what gets your juices firing?
This does right here. When you get to play on a Friday night, I don't know what it would be like in a fall when you don't get to come out here and the blood's flowing and the butterflies are in the stomach and the kids are pumped up and ready to go. And it's certainly a fun, and it's been a lot of fun for a long time.
Well, you've done a great job. You've averaged 8 wins a year and one of the area's best coaches, and congratulations getting off to a good start.
Joe Auburn down below with the victorious coach Chad Zolman here tonight at the Spoler Stadium, celebrating this victory 43-6 over the Northrop Bruins. Looks like Joe's going to be attempting after the team meeting to try to get maybe another player interview or so. I'll tell you what, let's take our break and head to the Walburn Financial Management post-game show. The final score here tonight at Spoler Stadium, 43-6. Spartans with the victory. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. I believe so.
Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
For me, just let me do what I can do and just run down the field.
What was the talk in the huddle? Because coming into the game, we thought the big matchup was your O-line, which was a little bit inexperienced against a big, strong Northrop defensive line, but your O-line dominated tonight. What was some of the talk in the huddle? Those guys seemed like they meant business tonight.
We just told them to do what they can do and just drive their guys as far as they can, just create holes for me and just do everything they can do.
What's it feel like to play in a Homestead offense when you have Goody back there that can just unleash the ball, and there's so many weapons? I mean, you've got Archibald, you got Little, you got Disler, Scavo, so many weapons to attack. How much fun is it to be back there?
It really just opens everything up. We can run anything out of our offense, and we can just threaten any team with what we have. Our wide receivers, throwing the ball, running the ball, Goody is spot on all the time. So it's just really nice having them because we can always depend on them.
Lastly, what's it mean to you to wear those colors and to run the ball for Homestead?
It means everything to me, Last year I came in as a sophomore, and I got a lot of minutes, and now I'm just ready to improve on my junior year, just do everything I can. And I love Homestead, the mentality we all have. It really is great.
Congratulations, Braden. Good game tonight, and a big win for Homestead, Joe, and he was a big part of it. 2 touchdown runs, and I thought Homestead really established the run, and then they attacked through the air.
No question about it. Joe Auburn, great job down on there with the Parkview Sports Medicine post-game interviews. Spartans win it here tonight on the road. They go 1-0, 43-6 win over Northrop. We'll come back and we'll take another look at the scoring tonight and also the games in the week ahead. After this break, we'll turn things back to the studios. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. BJ, just for your information, I'll have a scoring recap. Probably would like one more